do anything, or
you're good. We're live.
Oh, wow, that one.
the timing?
The timing on that was pretty great.
Usually there's a pause there. Hello and welcome to the 109th episode of the Destiny Community Podcast. And this week, Tefty sucks at like giving me at least a little heads up before just starting the show.
No, Luby was talking as I switched it over. I said, "Are we ready?"
Okay.
I literally said, "Are we ready?"
Character assassination.
Yeah, he did. In fairness to
confirm
Tefty,
I was
he said,
ready.
"Are we ready?"
Listen,
and everybody said, "Yes."
Every
Like,
single week,
explaining that he's
this
ready.
happens where I'm like, "Are we ready?" And then like, there's some run-on tangent about some other
This is
thing.
why we made Tefty start doing the intro.
That's right. This is why we did that.
Look,
Oh my
I
gosh.
demand to do the intro. All right, I had to take a break from doing it, and I'm gonna keep. I need to get
As
back
the
on my
lowest
streak.
man on the totem pole, I don't think you can demand
I am
anything.
leaving this podcast.
The least
right now.
seniority,
Yes.
like you did before, you betrayer.
Yes. You're just like
I'm
you're just
sensing
like
a
we
pattern
thought you
here,
were gonna be.
Patrick.
Yes. We can't trust you anymore. You're gonna, 1 minute you're here, next minute you're gone. Spelunking naked.
He tried to embarrass us in PvP.
He
You
did.
remember that?
I
He
remember
tried.
that. There's
I
all
don't
the
remember.
signs of
What happened?
betrayal.
I only remember.
Tell me about that a little bit, Miss 5,000
I
Watts.
remember Holt getting embarrassed.
I don't remember that at all.
Right?
There's a video that shows all of it. You guys should check it out.
Hmm.
Hey, how y'all liking Forsaken?
What's
Yeah,
that
you're
video
fucking
called? And
welcome.
where can I find it?
Anyway,
All right.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
pretty
Can
good.
you, can you go back actually, Patrick?
Yeah. Is there a way we can
I
have
need
you
to make
go
sure
back?
this continues.
Anyway, we have Luminosity on this week, and we're gonna be talking about PvP and stuff. We've had you on before, man.
Yeah, before D2, I think. Yeah,
Yes. And
Has
we
it
all
been
know
that long?
yeah.
You know, when I saw you coming on today, I'm like, wasn't he just on in like August? I could have sworn you were on in August.
Aw.
So, what have you been up to since last time we had you on? I know you didn't exactly like D2 as a lot of people did.
I
when it first
mean,
launched.
yeah. I think a lot of people were in the same boat, but I mean, with Forsaken, I've gotten back into it, been playing PvP, even PvE, but I went back to school, which I had taken a break for because of streaming, but with how D2 turned out, I went back.
Nice. What'd you study?
Computer science, Tefty.
Oh,
So
nice.
I need help, I'll hit you up.
All right.
What type of science are you doing with computers?
I mean,
Deadly science.
is that like a trick question or? Oh, I didn't get the joke. My bad.
No one did. It's
Oh, that
okay.
hurts.
No one got the joke.
Oh,
Louis.
that
Yeah,
hurts.
I don't.
Nobody
Yeah.
got it.
Oh,
Like,
that one hurts.
is it
All
a question
right.
or like a rhetorical or like a dad joke?
It's just Holtzman jokes. They're different than any other kind of jokes.
See, now it's
They
getting
got
funny.
a certain flavor. You know,
Bunch
usually
of change, dude, Holtzman.
usually there's some
My
jawfish in there. You know, little hints.
My jokes are like a good gumbo. Immediately, they're not going to be funny, but over time, they develop into a great thing. Okay.
Because we start laughing at you.
I think it's just because it needs salt.
Well, you need to
Now
eat
I'm
10
laughing
pounds of
a
it
lot.
for it to feel good.
Yeah, apparently.
That's only
You
crawfish.
know what?
not a
Actually, here's a
gumbo,
question.
Not a gumbo.
Lumi, if you
What's the
were to
difference?
go eat a bunch of crawfish, would you consider 15 pounds worth of crawfish the appropriate amount of a bunch of crawfish?
I would, yeah.
Okay, well,
Really?
all right.
Oh, there
I
we
Good
go.
guess we
man.
solved,
This
yeah,
is our new drink
I
and
mean,
snake
Lumi,
question.
when is
last
the
I mean,
time.
last
15,
time-
15 pounds of anything.
anything.
When was the last time you had
Steak?
15 pounds of crawfish?
When's the last time you
Never.
ate 15 pounds of anything?
Never.
Lightweights.
All right. Huh.
15 pound?
Yeah,
Well-
you don't eat all 15 pounds. I'm a broken record with this now.
Are there
but-
any crawfish in Red Dead Revolver or Red Dead Redemption 2?
Revolver?
Revolver.
Revolver.
I've yet to see a
I haven't
caught
caught any.
with my
I haven't
binoculars.
not looking hard enough.
I have to do more
So-
fishing, I guess.
I'm not
Bye.
ready.
May I say, Holtzman, you're doing a phenomenal job at the interview right now.
You guys keep fucking cutting in. We usually let you
This is
talk.
important, man. Come on.
You win the interview.
I'm having
You know?
fun.
That's all I care about is us having fun. Anyway, this is going to be a great highlight on the YouTubes. Yeah, so Lumi,
Flash marker.
you have been known for doing PvP. and you didn't like PvP. Well, in D2 and first launch, what do you think about Forsaken so far?
I mean, I think I'm having the most fun I've had since like year 2 Taken King. They really, really did like a 180, and yeah, they could change a thing here or two, but overall, I can get on and play like 8 hours and actually enjoy it like alone. Before it was like you needed 4 people to play in a quick play game, and even then, it wasn't really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you went in by yourself,
yeah.
you would die immediately.
You want to die, you get a team
awful.
shot, and I'm getting off.
What class have you picked up in Forsaken? Are you still on Hunter, probably?
Yeah, on Hunter, and I'm playing the middle arc. I like the deflect. I had a really cool clip like the other day. Like, I was running at like a guy, and then I heard a blade barrage behind me, did a 180, sent it all right back at him. It left pretty cool feeling.
That's
sending
cool.
The blade barrage back.
That's awesome, man.
It's my most fun thing. Deflecting.
Yeah, I've noticed Watts running that a bunch. A lot of people are really liking that spec.
And then like Blade Barrage is like, Blade Barrage, one of the best supers now, but it's not as satisfying. Yeah. Like getting that 1 or 2, like it was a free kill. You didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, that's why I like it. It's great.
Yeah, that's why I like it too.
It's about time Hunters have a free kill, though.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate popping it and then just having all the blades just like auto target into a wall or something.
Yeah.
I find a way to mess up Blade Barrage really consistently.
I do too, which is why I think I stick to Arc.
That's fair. That's fair. And I like how we just don't talk about the new Void Blades. We just
we'll pretend like they're not there.
Oh, one of your clanmates changed.
Oof.
Yeah. So what's his diet? If you happen to know, I want to know.
I mean, I would think he's on like G Fuel and Red Bull.
Yeah. Good God.
Yeah.
Dead champions.
I've run into him in quick play. And,
I feel bad if you ran into him because you probably died by Chaperone 20 times.
Yeah, no, he's great. I killed him with Chaperone once, and then he was on like a normal shot, and then he swapped to Chaperone, and I just didn't do anything for the rest of the match.
Yeah,
it's great.
Like, if you run the middle tree Spectral with Chaperone, you can continuously chain the like wall hack with the invids and keep catching people off guard. But again, you have to be good at aiming because you got to get the precision kill.
Yeah, he's really good at that.
Yeah. I know. I've played him.
You're like, hey, let's get him on our team.
Yeah.
All right. I suck at interviews, guys. So, segue.
So,
I got a couple of questions.
Great show.
Brian,
I got a couple of questions. Louis, like obviously PvP has changed like hugely with Forsaken.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that you think went too far? Like that, any changes that you think were like, this was like everything up to this point was great, and then this was a step too far, and it's hurting the game.
I mean, it's like a hard one, but I think the only thing that would come to mind is that they did introduce super mods, meaning you can get them back quicker. You can run 5 of them, like cutting it down in half. And they took away the extra damage your energy weapon does. So now trying to kill a super, which are like everywhere, is really, really frustrating and heavy. Now heavy comes, like I was like playing earlier, and heavy came within like 10 seconds. I get to the middle of the map and I die by heavy right away. And I think because of like how it was before, like they had heavy and shotguns, everything were in the heavy slot. It made sense to have heavy come a bunch, but now that heavy is all grenade launcher and rocket and 1,000 voices, it's not really fun anymore to get heavied over and over. And I wish they would like kind of cut back on heavy, like big time.
Yeah.
Do you remember back in Halo comp Halo 2 and 3, heavy spawned at the beginning of a PvP match, and there was a fight for it, center map. Why do you think it was something that was welcomed in the competitive community then, but now it's not? I
mean, heavy back in Halo could be a sniper rifle or like a shotgun too. It wasn't always grenade launcher, rocket launcher, and even when it wasn't always like as much of a free kill. But I think it was like, I'm not sure because I never played Halo, but I know about Halo, but I'm not sure why it worked. But I think Halo and Destiny are different games. I think in
definitely
Destiny there's a lot more movement, and Halo was like purely like gun skill.
You weren't going to spawn with a sniper or a shotgun. You had to know the timing on the map, and then you had to be ready to go and grab it. And then once you grabbed it, you were giving up one of the weapons that you had. So if you were picking up,
it wasn't a heavy spawn either. It was a sniper spawn, a shotgun spawn,
exactly.
a rocket launcher spawn.
Yeah. Some maps didn't have a
Which was
rocket launcher.
Powerful weapon for that sandbox.
Yeah, and usually they
Or a
put
sword
them in,
spawn,
yeah,
something.
they put them in spots that like were risky as well. So if you went to go and pick up that rocket launcher or
Yeah.
sniper, it's like you're going to be out in the open to be seen. So if other people
Yeah.
are watching you, and usually as well, there wasn't like multiple of that weapon just chilling. There was like, oh, that person's got the shotgun or that person's got the sniper.
Yeah.
Sometimes there'd be 2 snipers, sometimes there'd be 2 shotties on the map, but you wouldn't have like an entire team of shotguns.
Right.
Right.
Right. If
And
you
that's the
played on a
difference.
team, then you like with they are communicating with you'd have kind of roles like who's going to be the sniper, who's going to be the
Mhm.
shotgun.
Shotgun. Yeah.
You know, and in that way, I thought Halo made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Or, like looking back on it, Halo makes a lot of sense compared to Destiny, where you can have a team of 4 or 6 shotgun rushers, right? Where
Mhm.
that could be really hard to deal with.
No, you just put on Telesto, and then
Yeah.
they hate you.
Yeah, how do you feel about Telesto, Lumi?
That's
I mean, I think the simplest. I don't think it needs to be nerfed, but I think they should move it too heavy because, like, all of today, I've been dying by it, and like, there is a bug with it even now. I'm not sure a lot of people know, but you only have to get hit by, I think, 2 bolts to die, and it shouldn't be like that.
Mm-hmm. 2 bolts?
Yeah,
Wow.
I think
That's
2
definitely a bug.
bolts, and I think they should definitely just move it to heavy and like not nerf like it. But if they do want to keep it there, they'd have to nerf it. I know people hate that word, but you know, you can nerf things accordingly.
Yeah, people really, really don't like nerfing at all.
Oh,
I have
balance.
noticed
It needs rebalancing.
Mhm.
It could use a little retooling. You know?
I guess
Well, I mean, the community overall had 3 years of watching their favorite weapons just get beat down into the
Yeah.
ground, or in their favorite subclasses. So anytime we
word
talk about
nerf.
nerfing in Destiny, I think we're understandably shy about it. You know, like
Yeah.
Bungie wielded a big stick on weapons and subclasses
They did.
for 3 years.
Mhm.
They did.
Yeah.
Do you guys like actually, Lumi, from your perspective? Yeah, do you think it's possible for them to have a fun, like not broken, but like let's just say it feels kind of broken at times, PvE sandbox, and then also have a PvP sandbox that doesn't feel stale? But it also isn't broken. Like, do you think that's possible, or do you think they need to like pull it apart? Like, where do you stand on that
No.
argument?
I mean, I've always felt that, like, I think the biggest issue with D2 when it came out, like, I think PvE was, you know, not only was, like, PvP not fun, I think a lot of people did enjoy PvE. Running 2 primary got really old really quickly, whereas now you can go into PvE, you can have your, you know, hand cannon, your, like, EP shoddy, and then 1,000 voices, anything, right? And I think, you know, it just, like, depends. Like, if they are able to truly balance them separately, they should, every opportunity they get. Like, Telesto and PvE, if they can, you know, cut back on the range in PvP, believe it, in PvE, they should, right? And when it comes to like the whole competitive, you know, I think like when it comes to tournaments or whatever, we can always like make our own rules and work around. You know, they don't need to make Destiny quick play like ultra super competitive. It can be like fun and chaotic, which is what I think people want, which is why I think people enjoy Forsaken. It's like chaotic.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The craziness that happens with things being
Yeah, all the supers going off.
Yeah.
And
you find yourself
It
less hugging the butt and more like, well, I'm just gonna go try to make some plays.
Go do my-
And if I
Go
die,
in
yeah,
and
we're-
see what happens.
yeah.
We're hugging
That's
the
why
heavy
people
ammo
love
spawn now.
Destiny.
yeah, we're hugging heavy.
Yeah.
I just got off like a huge comp binge from last night,
Mhm.
and every single match just turned into, all right, control the heavy.
Yeah.
Just that's all you do. And man, when we did, we won. When we
Yeah.
had troubles with it, yeah, we lost.
It doesn't even matter about the game mode because it all just
doesn't.
boils
It
down to
becomes
the heavy.
Yeah,
Wasn't that
which becomes like really
essentially-
weird.
Wasn't that essentially like the heavy round in Trials though in D1? Like, all right, heavy's up. You know, you have to control it. Like the same
But
thing
like
would
to
happen.
be fair, that was it was like there were 2 spawns, right? There were 2 spawns
Originally, then they moved it to one spawn.
originally, and then it was 1, but it was only 1 round, right? Like even if
Yeah.
the game went 5-4, only 1 round was determined,
And
By
everyone
heavy,
got
it-
heavy.
Heavy.
and then it didn't carry on into the next round. Whereas like with heavy now, if I'm playing control, you get Wormhaven, you get to mid, you win that initial engagement.
Mhm.
You have heavy, you have B, you have heavy, and every heavy spawn
win.
after
Yeah.
that, you win. No matter how good you are, you can't, you know, like it's very difficult to like come back. It creates a snowball effect.
So it's interesting. I mean, from that
And, like-
perspective, it's like how can you actually have heavy in those games without
Yeah.
them always turning into that type of situation?
hmm
If they just separated it, so that you couldn't possibly have heavy when the next heavy pops up. That wouldn't that cut down on the snowball?
I mean, maybe if it just like came like if it came like 1 or 2 times per match, and it was like, okay, hey, here's our chance, heavy is coming up. Hold on to your blade barrage. We'll get heavy. Now we can turn the tide. That would be like the power shift, right? You can take heavy that one time, and now you have mid control. But with how it is now, is like you have heavy, and it comes every minute. You keep getting heavy, and there really isn't a like chance to make a play.
Yeah, it is interesting that like grenade launchers also became kind of the best possible thing, because all it takes is half of the grenade launcher ammo to get, and then you've won a team fight.
Yeah,
and then you can win another team fight.
Yeah,
and then by then heavy ammo's up again.
Especially with how like competitive games work, especially like in a 4v4, them like that initial kill is so important. The other three don't even matter. The moment you get that initial kill, whether it be with heavy, you have such a huge advantage, 4-3, and then if you have heavy, you have even bigger advantage, which is why like the snowballing comes play, because you get that initial pick. You don't have to use your heavy; you can just push them regularly, and you're most likely gonna win that engagement.
Did you play comp last season at all?
I did. I hit 5,500.
Okay, then
the queues are really long, though.
Yeah, I'm interested in hearing like how you. What do you think of the differences in the comp playlist versus then and now?
I mean, back then it was, what was it? No radar, no special, right? It was awful. Like I did it off stream too, because when I did it on stream, like people would like dodge our queue too. Like we would be waiting 10-15 minutes and then get an error code and have to re-queue. But it was bad. I hated playing. Like I was raging all the time. It wasn't fun. Like no radar, and I know people can make that argument. Oh, radar, more skilled. But all it did for me was like make the game way more passive. I was like, okay, guys, we're gonna sit back. We're gonna look here. Okay, we're moving. Pull out your Ikelos, SMG, wait for threat detector to pop up, then push. Now it's like we play comp and we don't even comp. We just run in and do our own thing, and it's actually fun.
Yeah. It's more fun to watch too. Like, I can understand what's going on just purely as a viewer when I can see a radar. When I was trying to watch comp last season, I would just get really bored because you can't tell what's going on.
Like Destiny, if you were a fan from year 1 to year 2 and even year 3, it was always movement. It was always very quick, whether you were Titan skating, Warlock surfing, double jump with bones, shade step. It was always very, very quick. And then, in D2, it became the complete opposite. Everyone's walking or running or crouching. You're never just like going in there. And I know people people may not be a fan of that, but I would always rather have people running around with shotguns rather than in the very back, with no intention to push.
Yeah. I feel like Destiny, at least PvP, has always been at its best when like aggression is favored, when you can you can push, you have that type of dynamic. When the gameplay favors passiveness, then you only have one option, I guess.
Well, it's not Destiny, right? Like we all fell in love with Destiny because it was chaotic. There was so much movement. There was supers and grenades and super powerful weapons. And then D2 came out and we're all like, this isn't why I liked Destiny to begin with. So I hope that the team at Bungie understands what Destiny is and they don't try and make it something else. Because I think that's what happened with D2.
I like the changes that they're making with some of the new super abilities. I feel like in D1 start, the super abilities for like, at least for the Titan, were very static. And the Warlock, you're placing your rift here, you're placing your shield here, and it's not really about pushing in and advancing. So I felt like when I was trying to support my team, it's not, there really wasn't a place to do that with the abilities, the class abilities. And so I feel like that the new ones are at least giving a nod to, a more mobile play style.
Yeah, I mean, especially with like, if you look at even like supers, I really like, they gave Thunder Crash, they gave Nova Warp, they kind of gave you completely different and like mobile. And like even with like the addition of rifts, especially in year 1, it was put down a rift, and now we sit here and we like lane and wait for someone to come into our scope. And it didn't help that the game modes were, I think, countdown and survival only. They didn't have control either or clash. In year one, they added those going into Forsaken.
For comp?
Yeah, for comp. Was control?
No. Control wasn't there. It was just countdown and
Yeah, it was countdown and survival, and
Countdown
those are
and
all
survival.
very, survival and countdown. They're pretty passive. They're not really like aggro.
What
For sure.
about
Yeah.
Breakthrough, Lumi? How do you feel about
Yeah.
Breakthrough?
I'm just Holtzman. You played Breakthrough, man, at
Oh
Bungie.
yes. No,
Did you not-
not at
No?
Bungie. Nope.
Okay. I was like, did you not
And if
play
he
it there
did,
and
he's
give
not allowed to
feedback?
talk about it.
Yeah, if I did. I'm not allowed to
Okay,
talk about
fair
it, but I
enough.
didn't actually
But-
do that, which it's probably, well, I'm already in too deep of a hole now, so whatever.
Okay, but I don't know. I just wish they could like come out with like a pure, even in D1 when they added zone control, I was a fan of zone control. I know, yeah, you have to kill to get the objective, but if you're not capping and holding the flag, you're not getting the points, right? I wish they would bring back even like Rift in D1. It wasn't like purely objective, but it was like you're getting a huge chunk of points for capturing the Rift, and I like that. And I hope that, whenever we may get a new game mode, we can actually get a purely objective, whether it be like, even like it could be a King of the Hill. I think that's very popular. King of the Hill, or like capture the flag, like type Rift game mode. I think they'd be very popular.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Breakthrough did not
Yeah.
do it for me.
When you play the game mode like just as it's intended, it feels okay, but there are a lot of frustrating aspects of it. Like, I don't know how often you lose, but let me tell you, when you're not Lumi, when you're not Lumi quality over here, you can lose pretty easily. And when you have a team push up, like when a really aggressive team that can control the map, it's the most frustrating thing because they already start capping your final point. And like, I'm still trying to respawn. I have 8 seconds to respawn. Okay, I've finally respawned. It's at halfway capped. I make it to the area to even start.
And they have heavy.
And they have heavy.
And heavy keeps spawning outside, and they're spawning on heavy. Yeah, it's not very.
Yep.
And but I mean, it would even happen where we would cap the initial point, and then we couldn't capture the final one, and then we would be penalized for capping the initial, where it should have been, maybe you get 1 point for the initial middle one, and then 2 for the final one, and then first to 7, first to 9. Yeah. That way, you don't feel like you lost out by capping the middle one.
Similar to like Overwatch's.
With the two checkpoint.
Yeah, I think they absolutely should have switched to a point system. I think it just makes that play so much better.
Yeah.
And I was surprised for a while. I was surprised they took it away and then they brought it back and then they didn't test it out in Crucible Labs or anything. They were just like straight into comp.
It's really weird. I feel like they should be taking way more advantage of like Crucible Labs. I feel like it's just like whatever. No one really pays attention because they're not doing enough with it.
On top of that, so it's been almost 2 months. We're coming up on 2 months since Forsaken launched.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling the pattern again when it comes to Crucible updates, or like balancing and all that. It's like, okay, it's been almost 2 months and
we haven't heard anything.
Yeah, no, there hasn't been a lot of discussion about it. And this is like what we get. Like, I feel like we're in an abusive relationship when it comes to Bungie and like the PvP updates. We're always like, they'll come around. They're coming, but like, it feels like the same thing. It's slipping back into, we're not going to talk about it. And
I feel like that team doesn't really have any back and forth with the community either. Whereas other parts of Bungie do. They say, okay, well, it looks like you guys are enjoying this, but you're not enjoying this. What do you think? But there's just nothing when it comes to Crucible stuff. There's no, okay, guys, what didn't you like about Breakthrough? What would you like to do? You want it to just go away? Would you prefer something else? Like, there was just no back and forth at all. It was like, community hates it, take it out. And then they just brought it back based on not really having a back and forth with us. So it's weird. It's always does seem like the Crucible PvP team is kind of off in their own island.
That's a really good point.
Doing their thing.
It does feel like that. Like, it doesn't need the same amount of a new Crucible mode doesn't need the same amount of secrecy that like story stuff does. They could easily talk about Breakthrough while they're developing it and like, get real-time feedback on it. It's not like it needs to be some big surprise. If it's a good game mode, people are going to like it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
In terms of game modes and PvP, as long as like right now, like what'll happen is like I think we will get the PvP update sometime in the new season or like maybe before or after, but we have no idea what they could easily go back to the old weapon system, right? Because we don't know like even what they're intending or what they think is like wrong with the PvP right now, because there's no dialogue. We don't know what they're working on, what they're even looking at as of right now.
Yeah, there's
and like the full choke nerf, we had no idea. It just like came out of nowhere, and it's just like
that's true.
I feel like that was it'd be really nice to get notes for some of these changes to know.
Yeah. I want numbers.
I want numbers for
numbers,
like how it was reduced. Also, I want to know why stuff like we know why things like malfeasance and wishing. There's a very large part of the community that was like, hey, these aren't doing, these aren't up to snuff. And then I feel like the full choke thing was in regards to a lot of people complaining about too much shotguns. But I actually that's the initial thing, but I also feel like when you look at what people were wanting on shotguns, full choke was the only thing that mattered.
Yeah.
Like range doesn't matter. You just want to reduce the spread as much as possible.
Exactly. So we're not sure if that was like to nerf shotguns or to make it that you don't only need full choke. Whereas like in D1, it was like if you didn't get rifled or there was one more, I forgot. Like you would delete, and I think maybe they don't want to do that now with the barrel. They want to kind of get rid of it. But at the end of the day, there will always be one or shot package. But at the end of the day, there will always be one or two range perks that people are going to go for no matter what. You can't make them all equal.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's boring because it's the same stuff.
Boring.
In PvP, have they said anything about what happened to Rift and if it's coming back?
No,
I don't think Rift will ever.
They haven't talked about Rift at all.
They haven't said anything about Rift since Destiny 1, right?
Yeah.
Was it like? I didn't. What was your take on Rift as a game mode? I mean, I know it wasn't universally loved, but I don't think it was like. I think they kind of threw the baby out with the bathwater with that one.
Yeah,
like it was still.
They were onto something.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think they were. I felt like that was probably the most unique mode that they had for Destiny of any PvP mode they've had.
Yeah,
right. Because then they came out with Supremacy with Rise of Iron, and then we got Countdown and Survival, and they're not really anything like different or unique. But I think Rift was unique, and I think they could have brought that forward to D2 and like even tweaked it, like maybe made it only it would be like 1st to 3, and only capturing a Rift would give you 1. No more killing, like that doesn't matter anymore. And I think, I mean, overall, it wasn't like a competitive game mode or anything, but it definitely was like you go into like it's different from Control or Clash. There's more than killing people. It was fun for me, like to go in and play some Rift. And
I always felt like it made the craziness and space magic of Destiny make sense, or not necessarily make sense, but like it gave
I know what you mean.
It gave it a different angle to where like you can wipe a whole team, but that doesn't get you the point. Like you have to like get something captured, even though I mean in Rift it did. You would still get points for kills, but like I always wanted them to take something like Rift, go a little bit further, and do like a true capture the flag, because those game modes are always fun.
Yeah,
like
really
a legit
fun.
capture
Also, the
flag.
Titan Bowl was amazing and was available in Rift. Playing with shoulder charge only was the only way you could get a kill. The Titan Ball. Oh my god!
And like when you would dunk it, everyone near would die. But it would create those moments where like, oh my god, like everyone on your team died, and you're like the last one pushing, and you get a like dunk, and then you kill 3 or 4. It'd be like really hype.
I feel Rift definitely played to the strengths of Destiny. Movement, space magic,
chaotic.
I think some of the challenges people had were something similar to that what we see in matchmaking now, where if it's a solo queue player, you were getting, it's just Rift wasn't fun.
Yeah.
Any objective game mode's not going to be fun if you're going to be random.
Bungie just refuses to like split up the matchmaking into like singles and teams.
They had that in D1. They did have a lone wolf playlist.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, like queues were definitely longer, but they were
Mhm.
you could actually play alone and not have to worry.
Fucking
You can even
suck
make it
going up
duos.
against BSK.
Solos and duos.
No, I mean, I searched. I would run into Lumi a lot because he lived near me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's no reason why our two placed like our skill gap. There's no reason why we should be.
That was the first time I ran into Lumi. Was a quick play type of thing. Control ran in.
I remember that.
I was like, oh, it's Luminos, because I knew you because of the leaderboards. You were always like in the
and
top
then
10.
and then you came, and then you were like, "Would you want to play Trials?" I remember
I
that,
did, yeah.
and you did.
Teddy
You were
trying to
like,
get the carry.
yeah,
Hell yeah.
he came, and then at the time I was like blown away because like I had just started. I didn't even think anyone knew me. And he came and he was like, "Yo, like you were really doing really well, and do you want to play?" And then we started playing every Saturday. I remember that
Uh-huh,
hefty.
yep.
Oh,
That's
right.
how it
I
started.
remember that.
Yeah,
Aw.
I came in
the good
and
old days.
I was like, dude, you're a god. Do you want to play Trials and help people?
Yeah.
I think at the time you were streaming on MLG, right?
No, I was on Twitch.
Okay, I
I just
thought you
came
had just
over.
okay, you just transitioned
I
over,
came
yeah.
over,
So you'd
yeah.
started a Twitch channel, yeah. That's where it
Mhm.
began for me.
Was
Yeah.
that before or after the cereal?
That,
That was before.
that was before. That was before because
Yeah.
I wasn't partnered at the time.
Yeah, that's right.
And after
You
I
got-
got partnered.
Yeah.
Still on your side on that one then.
Yeah, thank you.
Fighting the good fight.
I just remember that night
The
being
good
so
fight.
epic. Of like,
I mean, you got me with a joke too. Do you remember it, Pope?
no, what happened?
How many donkeys are in Donkey Kong?
Oh yeah.
And
No,
I
no,
said
no.
one. No, I said one, and then you were like, "There's none. They're monkeys." And I was like, "Okay, Pope." I remember.
we did a series of we did a whole bunch of Illumi quizzes, and
Yeah.
your knowledge of pop cartoons and stuff is just atrocious, man.
Yeah. Okay, we weren't born in the same decade, okay, Pope?
Is this an old man joke?
Yeah.
But you didn't know Legend of Zelda.
I didn't.
You didn't know Link. You thought Link was anyway.
No, I thought Zelda was a boy.
Damn.
Oh.
I've never
Yeah.
played, and
That kinda
even to this
hurts.
day, I have not played a Zelda game.
Oh.
That hurts.
Yeah.
No, it was. We once
Who got
we heard
this
that-
guest?
I'm about to block Lumi right now, guys.
No.
It was great. I forget who we had. Triple Wreck. We had
Trav in there.
Trav,
Hassan came.
Hassan. We
Yeah.
pulled in Hassan Holtz. You were there, right?
No.
No. Who did I bring over? Tefty?
Yeah, Tefty.
I
We
stopped
brought
in
Tefty
for
over.
like a
Hefty.
minute and weighed
Yeah,
in
because
on the
and
subject.
at one point we had almost the whole Twitch
We had
directory
Yeah.
for
Tuning in.
for Destiny, tuning into this abomination of cereal before milk or milk
Yeah.
before cereal.
Milk before.
Yeah, that was great. It's funny how far we've come from those
No.
early
Have we really come that far?
No, it is.
Have
Like
we?
that was 4 years ago.
That's
It's a
long
while.
time.
That's
a really
crazy,
long
man.
time.
Oh,
Look at us friends getting together and reminiscing about old times, and chat's probably lost for some of it if they're new. To
Be like, Destiny 1? What?
Destiny.
Back when Last
remember.
Word was amazing. And the
Two-tapping?
Two-tap
I
Thorn?
remember Thorn. Oh my god, that I used to rage on Thorn so hard in this
Did
podcast.
you?
Oh god, I hated it.
we had to
You know-
we had to implement a rule where we just don't talk about
Don't
Thorn
Really?
for about
Well, like
2 months solid. It was just us. Like we had nothing to talk about. It was during the content drought,
Yeah.
and like that was just the Thorn. Was just,
I used
like,
to
talking
rage
about
so
someone for
hard.
2 months.
Damage over time. I'm like, who fucking?
Yeah, Watts was a big fan. I remember I matched her one time, and then she was not happy.
It was literally just
Thorn,
Thorn,
Arkle,
Arkle.
Thorn. Yeah, you remember.
That's all it was. I was just like,
Yeah.
people are barely even shooting you at that.
Was
point.
that the same? When was it the meta of the was the solar? Was it the arc bolt? No, it's not arc bolt. The solar bolts. Solar.
Oh, the fireball.
that-
Fireball.
Yeah,
that was
that-
for
That
warlocks.
That was after, right? That was
yeah,
after.
different
I mean
meta.
they were always good, but then when Taken
Right.
King came out, they nerfed everything but that for like the entire year, and
And
then
Yeah.
you
you're
could
getting
have a
firebolted.
warlock with 2 firebolts,
Yeah.
right? And
yeah,
you could just dodge. You could just toss
And
through
burning.
and 2 into a door, and
would
they
do
would burn
one-
out and die.
170 total damage.
That's insane, man.
170.
And the burnout was like atrociously long, so
Yeah.
you would know that you were gonna die, but you just had to wait there and watch your health.
Wait there.
Even if you didn't die, you were one shot forever.
Yeah.
You had to wait for it to tick, and then you'd read
Oh,
It
it.
felt like it was like a
Funeral.
good 30 seconds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
it did.
forever.
I was.
Let's talk about all the metas that were just. Hey,
I just
remember the
I like to
FND
think back.
spear, the one shot.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like you guys are all talking about the exact same time period.
Yeah, it was the same time period.
Oh.
I just remember those
Yeah.
freaking firebolts had the most obnoxious radius. Like
yeah.
you
They
just
did.
casually chuck them around the corner and be like, You were
Yeah.
by it. Sorry, you're gonna get hit by
Yeah.
this. It was so ridiculous.
You were
Almost the
looking
same
at it from
damage.
across the map. you
Yeah,
were-
it was like
You saw it land, so therefore
I don't know.
you
The
were-
thorn was a special kind of broken though. It was just
Yeah.
it would two tap you if you came up against a team that was all running them in trials. Then you'd like peek a corner and they might as well had snipers out because
Yeah, you
die
would
that
have to
quick.
die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And it
then-
had like a lot of range too. That didn't help.
Yeah, you
insane
could
range.
map
Yeah.
people with any hand cannon, but Thorn and Last Sword were like kind of crazy offenders. Hawkmoon to some
Yeah.
extent too, but
I like.
Hawkmoon snuck under the radar because Thorn was just so offensive.
You know what's
And then
amazing
they
though?
nerfed
Like the thorn was essentially the thorn from the very beginning, but it didn't pick up steam.
No,
No, it got buffed.
It got
No,
buffed.
it got
big
buffed.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it started off as like a
Well,
6-shot gun.
Right,
and-
but you could still
really
They
two
bad
buffed
tap.
reload.
everything
You could
about
still
it.
two tap with it,
Yeah.
even though
but
it
then
was
it had a
six.
lot of recoil. It was very bad.
Yeah.
They didn't
But what
do
happened actually was Hawkmoon got nerfed randomly, because
Yeah,
Hawkmoon
right
was
before
two-tapping.
right before Xbox people could get it.
Yeah, and then Hawkmoon got nerfed, which is why everyone went to Thorn all of a sudden.
It's pretty funny. I
Oh,
also remember periods
I
of time when
remember.
people would hate on like, well, why you ADS in the last word? And then it'd be like, why are you not ADS in the last word? Like these like time periods where people are like, no, you need to do this
Yeah.
to the gun. No, you need to do this to the gun. It was
Yeah.
like hilarious.
I remember playing Widow's Court Trials. It was me, Patrick, and Ian,
Jesus.
and we were against full team of final round snipers.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Final round Thorn.
Oh, they were just shooting their. You could hear them shooting their
as
snipers.
soon as you
into the
load in, you
ground.
just
Oh.
hear
Yup.
shot, and you're like,
and you know
oh,
what's gonna
no.
happen.
Freaking Robbie V, man.
Yeah, we played with Robbie and he kept
Robbie.
doing it. I didn't know who he was. I was like, why did Tefty invite a final rounder to do a run?
I know, man. It was like a curse. It was like a curse word, like your final rounding.
Your final rounding.
You,
And I
you
remember
invited a
some
final
people.
rounder?
Some people would even use a weapons of light with
Oh my
With
god, yeah.
with Effordeets or something, and it was just a one shot.
Yeah, you didn't have to need.
Effordeets had
insane.
insane impact.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, it was the reason I loved it. Like beyond the final round thing was that it was amazing for PVE as well. It was until the Whisper or whatever it was called at the time, the Black Hammer. Sorry,
Mhm. Wow.
like that thing hit like a truck.
Yeah,
in
it did a lot of
PvE.
damage.
hmm
So I kept my final round until they pried it out of my cold
Yeah.
dead hands.
Well, it had only 3 rounds in it, but it had a remarkably fast reload.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was not like they paired the 3 rounds with a slow reload. You had it.
That series of Iron Banner weapons also produced the Fellwinter's Lie.
Yes.
It was that second season.
Yeah.
season.
Yes,
Second
it
season
did.
of Iron Banner produced the Effordy and the Fellwinter's Lie. The
The
Fellwinter's
2
Lie
best
was like,
snipers in the game.
Yeah,
yeah, right.
that definitely changed the game that entire year. The moment they
did.
introduced Fellwinter's Lie with shot package and knee pads and hammer.
I don't know
force.
why people are complaining about the doctrine in chat. There was nothing wrong with the doctrine.
There was a lot wrong with the doctrine.
There was nothing wrong. That was my gun, boy. That was my baby. 54 bullets.
Yeah, like a bullet hose.
It was like, basically was the laser beams that we got in Destiny 2.
Yeah, you're right.
it had way too much range for what it did.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
speaking of Destiny 2,
Let's
We
talk
had a
about
nice
this.
We're
little
reminiscing,
down.
Patrick.
Yeah.
I know.
This is nice.
So yeah, speaking of Destiny 2 and laser beams, have you guys played with the laser beams at all? Have you played with the trace rifles in PvP?
I was
Patrick,
playing
I'm not
for
gonna lie
the
to
day.
you.
They're
I've
fun.
been
I know,
out
Briar.
on
You've
the
been playing
plains.
Red Dead.
I've
You
been
haven't
This
done
is
even
this
the
is
old
Briar's
man.
segue into Cowboy Land.
We are not
There we
getting
go.
into Cowboy Land just yet. We
We're
will
not
go.
getting-
Man. punching horses and taming mules.
My God, Briar,
You
that
have not
hat,
been punching horses.
that hat. If you're listening to this, Briar just put on this sequenced red, white, and blue striped
You know where
Right.
the old West was,
stripper
Pope?
pole hat.
America.
People kept telling me that Briar had a stripper hat.
Yes, that's what
They
it
kept
looks
coming
like.
into chat and being like, Briar
What
has
is
a
this-
stripper
what is a
hat.
stripper
Stephanie's
hat?
got a Santa stripper
You
hat.
know,
And I was
it's
like,
got
That one?
like,
Okay,
shiny
okay.
stuff in it.
It does very, yeah. It's reminiscent of a stripper, yeah.
Yeah, Tefty's yours isn't
every
that
stripper
better.
I've seen has had that
put
hat.
yours on,
I
Tefty.
actually don't know where mine is at the moment.
Come on,
I
man.
don't have it next
You
to me.
gotta
Mine's
put it
an
on.
actual.
Yeah, that's a good cowboy hat.
How do you put that over your headset?
I don't. I have to plug in a different one. It goes really
Okay.
loud. But then it hurts my ears, and then I.
Yeah,
I just play with
What the heck?
speakers.
really.
Yeah, that's with
I haven't
the
done
with
that
the
in
dynamic
years.
microphone. You can't really hear them.
Do you run Cold Art Holtzman or the Prometheus?
I like
Or
Louis
Wave
here,
Splitter.
bringing us back to the D2
I got
conversation.
you.
Yeah, Cold Heart is
Cold
a
Heart.
little bit easier to use if
Yeah,
you're
I
going to
agree.
try to. It's really weird because they, you would expect it to be a primary weapon, like or use primary ammo, but no, it uses special, so it has actually kind of that higher power level. But I just suck with them.
Well, I mean, they ended up buffing them. They buffed them with Forsaken, and now they even gave you more ammo, which is why I was trying it out. They're really.
Oh, you get
good.
more ammo now?
Yeah, you get 50,
Yeah.
which is
Oh, that's nice.
pretty
Yeah,
good.
they buff
It's
it.
better, right? Yeah.
I remember
still
getting
fun?
4.
Yeah, you're like,
It was
Can
yeah.
can you still do the shoot a dead body and then to ramp up the damage with Cold Heart and then swap to someone?
I actually didn't know. I didn't know that was a thing.
That's a thing. Shoot their dead body or their ghost, and it'll ramp up
then
the
I'll
damage
end up
and
on
swap them.
Reddit. Streamer Luminosity shooting dead body.
so
What has
toxic.
the game
Lock
come
it.
to?
At least you're not punching a horse, you know?
It's true.
Good point.
Mhm.
I wish I could use a wave splitter, man. That sounds like a cool gun.
I
The
know,
Wave
right?
Splitter is. I don't have it, but that's the best one.
Yeah?
in Crucible.
Really?
Like,
Where's it
it's just
drop?
insane.
Where do you get it?
In Destiny 2.
Mm. Never heard of it.
PS4 trace rifle.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the
Yeah.
PS4.
It's
I
the
gotcha.
PS4 one.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
We'll get
probably
in a year and it'll be nerfed.
1% of people have it.
So has why am I asking this question? You all been playing fucking Red Dead. So
I
who's
played
gotten
that.
new exotics this week since they were?
I have.
Fuck you guys! You haven't even played. I've been playing all week and I haven't gotten shit.
Wait, do you have the shard yet or no?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, well that.
Yeah,
I actually got. Well, I'm kind of salty because I got One-Eyed and the Ursa, and I'm like, why did you nerf the Worm Husk and you give people
Yeah.
One-Eyed?
Yeah.
And
they're-
Ursa.
Yeah, and like you can even like begin the game with One-Eyed and then go to the other one when you get your Sentinel, and they are broken, like actually broken.
Ursa's definitely broken. You
yeah.
block like 2 bullets, and you're like, okay, got my super bag.
I mean, even One-Eyed, it feels like they
Crazy.
put like 3 Hunter exotics into one. You get the tracking, you get an overshield,
That's
full
true.
health regen, bonus damage. I don't get it.
It's instantaneous.
It's not even regen. The overshield is like regen, but then the health is you go full health.
It's an
I don't get it.
instantaneous full health bar. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
Balance.
Yeah, I don't really understand why Bungie saw Worm Husk and was like,
Yeah.
this is a bit of a problem.
Yeah,
And then they were like, One-Eye's fine.
yeah. One-Eyed. Yo, they'll like it. They'll like
That's
it.
working
They'll
great.
like
They're
it.
gonna
Is it possible they didn't
Yeah.
think it was a problem? Legit.
I mean-
Like they're like, you know
I
what?
mean,
they're complaining
but
about
it's-
it,
it's
but
weird 'cause,
honestly, it's okay.
Like we have Foe Tracer, right? Which is a one exotic that does what One-Eye does.
Yeah.
And the tracking isn't even that good on it either.
Right. It like
Yeah.
the tracking, they mark you basically instantly, the
Yeah.
Titans. Whereas you have to wait a little bit with
Oh, with foe. Because the moment you get shot, you get with One-Eyed, you'll track them.
Isn't it permanent?
Which-
The tracking though?
It's 12 seconds. And if you kill them within that 12 seconds, you get that overshield and instant health regen. And then
Oh my god.
after you kill them, you have that overshield for 9 seconds, and then you can get the buff again.
Sounds balanced, yeah.
Yeah, it seems fair.
Yeah, that's fair. Huh.
That's
You don't
awesome.
need
That's
more than
it.
12 seconds.
Sounds exotic to me.
I mean, it is really fun to play with when you have it, but the moment everyone has it, I'm gonna freak out.
when we were doing comp a little while ago, and I was the lone hunter on my team, and it was like
Mhm.
a bunch of math class people. They all had one-eyed mask,
One-Eyed.
and
my
like
God.
we were able to beat teams that were a little higher than us in the bracket just because
Yeah.
one-eyed was
One-Eyed.
it's so difficult to play around.
So difficult.
And it
Is
I
that a
mean, Holtzman,
hidden
just don't shoot
benefit?
them. Just don't shoot
Is
them.
that a hidden benefit of having ultra rare exotics? Is that like whole teams can't be running the same stuff because not everybody on the team has it? So
I
they can
mean-
have more powerful exotics because you're less likely to
Well,
have them?
Well, the issue was like, if you look at Warmind, it was like, you might run into like a full team of running Wormhusk, but then you had it too. Now the issue is if you run into a full team who got lucky enough to get like the one-eyed before like the buff, and you don't have it, you're at a huge like advantage.
I really like that. I really like that, Briar. You don't have to worry about it balancing exotics if you don't
If no
give
one
them.
has.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, and like if you think about it, like how many people have even probably ran into one-eyed, and if they did, it's probably a few times. But the moment like, let's say Zer has it and everyone has it, that is when people will, be louder with the complaining, and then it'll eventually get like nerfed.
Mm-hmm. It's an interesting problem.
Yeah,
and people are already complaining about one-eyed mask, and
it just seems like they got to split those sandboxes. We've been saying that forever, but
D3, no PvP.
They're gonna be like, guys, we tried. Now it's world PvP. Everything's OP. Good luck.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to that. If that rumor ends up being true, having like open areas with kind of PvP, PvE. That sounds.
Especially when Christmas comes really around, cool. Briar, when all the new people.
Oh my god! I once wrote a song about Christmas noobs. It was great. I don't remember the lyrics anymore. I'll have to look that up. It was my favorite time of the year in Call of Duty.
Oh, it was great. It was amazing.
Oh, speaking of noobs, small tangent. We played D1. The other day we ran raids. Mm-hmm. Went into the tower.
Patrick, we're here to talk about Destiny 2.
Jesus,
I knew you would say it. I knew you would say it. We ran into the tower, and you know how like even in D1 when you're playing, you're like, "Hey, that guy's a newbie," and like you're like kind of you're really enthusiastic about it. We ran into an actual like newbie. Like this dude just bought Destiny level 2 in the tower,
low Grimoire,
had like 600 Grimoire score. Like
maybe he's a D2 player that heard about how amazing D1 was, and he was like,
maybe.
Now that you mentioned random side note, you mentioned Grimoire. They should like kind of have your Triumph score like underneath, how like you had the Grimoire. That'd be pretty cool.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. It would be more helpful than seeing that I'm level 50, right?
Yeah,
that doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
The problem I'm having is that I can't keep up with my Triumph like mini game.
What's your mini game?
Going in there and activating the Triumph score. Like this. Just
initially,
you have to dedicate an evening to it initially.
Just going in and hitting X over and over again.
I am proud to say that I have complete I've clicked all the things, so I don't have to. Nothing's flashing at me.
Yeah.
And I've done it on my collections board too.
Oh no, I did not do that.
Wow.
I have started to see people running around with titles though, and it's pretty cool seeing people in the world with titles. I like that.
I like that.
Yeah, titles are cool.
Yeah.
I like them a lot.
Very cool addition.
Need more titles.
What do you think the one like missing is? Like,
getting all of them, I bet.
Getting all of them.
I bet it's having all titles.
That would be really cool if you end up getting it.
It's gonna be hard.
Well, it would take 3 seasons because just to get the Crucible one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would probably be the final one people get, I think.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I know I'm not getting them, so I'd be excited to see.
I'm kind of with you, Pope. Forsaken is kind of the first time in Destiny that I've kind of said, I'm not getting everything in this DLC. Like, it's just not going to happen.
And are you okay with it?
I'm perfectly okay with it because
I'm okay with it as well.
Yeah.
Like, there's certain things that I want to do in Destiny, and there's certain things that I just don't like doing. Like, I'll play competitive if I got a group of friends who are really into it and really want to get going, but I will not go in there on my own.
Yeah,
like, I'm just not going to touch it.
Yeah.
Gambit, like, I want to love, but the way it's set up right now, I just don't really enjoy my time in it that much.
I'm with you.
Like, it's so close to being good, but there's just a couple of things that are just kind of piss me off, kind of moments that just then sending me away.
What moments?
Yeah.
The sleeper simulant for one, getting
sleeper.
mapped by a sleeper simulant.
Yeah. Basically, the problem is more systemic with the issue of like the invader. There's some things that they're doing to balance it, which I'm noticing, and I haven't played it since they've made the changes. But the invader going in having like constant tracking of everybody else on the other team is not like
the wall hack. Yeah,
it's totally fine.
Because you get an overshield too.
But all right,
just memorize the spawns. It's so easy. Memorize the invader
that's
spawns.
right. combat the broken system with another
Patrick,
broken
make
system.
a video about it, and I'll learn the spawns.
Okay,
Yeah.
3 sections.
Just
They
make a map.
spawn-
The problem
Put it
is
on
I'm not
YouTube
going to learn the
section.
spawns if I don't play it. Like I already kind of like gave up on it.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
So
Not sorry.
the hand cannon, the exotic hand cannon with the malfeasance or whatever, when you
Mhm.
that one is supposed to be good for combating,
It is.
the invader. So
It
that's
really
awesome. And it's
It
exotic, so
deals-
that means you have to take off the sleeper to put it on, which is I like and encourage them to find creative solutions to problems in the game instead of nerfing things. So I wanted to give them kudos to that because I feel like they're changing the way Gambit plays by incentivizing the use of other systems. I'm happy with that.
Malfeasance deals 92 damage to the head on invaders.
Damn. It's a two or three tap for invaders.
Tap
So
180.
Do you think?
Really good.
Do you think there needs to be more
Very
incentive for killing a invader?
That'd be nice.
Like, let's say
I'm-
you have your
I've got
primeval.
all
What do
the
you
incentive I need to kill those pieces of shit.
So let's say you have
I
the
mean-
primeval out, and killing an invader gives you a stack, Slayer stack.
I don't know about that, but I still don't agree where like if you summon your primeval way later that you start off with like 3 or 4 stacks. I kind of don't like that. I
Yeah,
feel
that
like it should
rubber
be-
banding. I've never really enjoyed in
Mhm.
any
Yeah.
video games, even like
Like, I know
Mario.
like
Kart.
There's
yeah,
a
it's like
lot.
a catch up. A lot of a catch up like I forgot the word, like a catch up
mechanic.
mechanic,
Rubber band,
but
yeah.
I don't think it should be a thing.
I-
If we're invading, killing you before you deposit your moat, that should be your penalty. You don't get to summon your primeval,
Well,
and you should not get the buff
Mhm.
either.
The balance is Lumi for me. I thought about this and I agree with you. If you are a team that's activated it, that you're playing catch up, right?
Mhm.
Your portal should be left open, you should be allowed to invade the other team throughout, even though both of you have primevals, right? Versus the other teams, when more often being able to access the other team and attack them while they're trying to burn their primeval down.
It's
does that make
already really generous.
Yeah,
Like you can, if the other team has their primeval up and you don't,
it's like
You can
up
invade-
majority of the time.
yeah, it's like what, every 30 seconds, I think.
Yeah, you can
I
be
don't
over
think
there
it's
all the
every
time.
30.
You
I guess
basically
it's
come back from invading and you wait like 5 seconds.
5
to go.
seconds,
Yeah,
and it's
it's-
open again. Yeah,
right? So
Keep
that's
invading.
what I'm talking about. That gap should be separated, right?
Well, because then people would have to think about when to go in, right? You wouldn't be
Right.
like, I'm just going to go in because then I can go in again and again. You'd be like,
So there's
okay,
more
I got it to
time.
a certain point. Now I'm going to go in and kill people.
And it
I-
becomes more strategic.
Yeah, I guess
And then-
that's
looking for
what I'm
creative
saying is that
solutions,
like
that's all.
I feel like the penalty for doing a bad invasion isn't really that significant yet. Like there should be a
Yeah,
consequence over going in and failing your invasion. Essentially, like if you get killed in
I
there,
mean,
there should
Maybe
be
your
you
next
die.
invasion, you miss out on your next invasion if you don't get any kills when you're over there. Or...
I mean,
I don't know.
They can increase the spawn time, meaning like you either have to kill all 4, like kill 1 and hide, right? Or if you die, your spawn time is like 15,
oh, that's a good.
like 15 to
Flexible.
20,
Good one.
30 seconds.
flexible
you know?
spawn
Yeah.
timer depending on how many you kill.
Yeah, because like
I
if you
like
think about
that.
it, you do
Yeah.
have the
Yeah.
advantage. You get to pick. Hey, I have heavy. I have my Dawn Blade. I'm gonna go in with wall hack and an overshield. You should be penalized for not like.
If people kill the invader, it acts as a buff to the damage on the primeval.
That's what I was saying.
I wouldn't be bad either.
That's what I was
Okay.
saying. Like if you were to get primeval stacks from killing invaders, so that way
Yeah.
when somebody does invade, you're like, oh, quick, we can kill this guy
Kill him
and then get a buff, which would help.
Yeah, it just needs. I feel like there needs to be work done to the
Yeah.
Gambit game mode to make it fun for me. I'm with Briar on this. I don't enjoy it as much as I thought I would, simply
Same.
because of the mechanics. The game mode itself is fun. Like I like the idea. I love
Yeah.
it. I would spend a lot of time in there if it wasn't maddeningly frustrating.
Well, to
Yeah.
be fair, this is just my view. It is a competitive game mode. It is one that incentivizes.
Not when they have all these catch-up mechanics.
Still like a
How competitive
competitive,
can it be?
pretty fucking competitive.
Yeah.
you notice the difference between a good organized group and a not organized
Because
group.
the good group, the moment it's they summon, they kill their primeval.
It's gonna be dead.
right
Catch-up
away.
mechanics
Yeah,
don't
they
mean
need to
shit.
stop that as well.
People have
Yeah.
figured
It's
out a
no
way.
fun.
It
Gambit
isn't fun.
People just burn their primeval.
Like
instantly.
melting point and then triple blade barrage and
Right.
dead.
They're just bypassing like a whole part. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
they need to retune quite a lot about Gambit.
It's definitely one of the common complaints from the community is it sucks being a solo player in any game
In
mode.
anything.
In any
game mode. Yeah, man. They
Yeah.
need to have solo queues.
Mhm.
They just need to put those
Or
in.
they can do the matchmaking where
Or
Yeah,
you all
to-
need to get friends, all right? A bunch of freaking
Well,
degenerates.
I feel like that's
right?
what Bungie goes to, though. It's like you have to get friends. It's like, well,
Yeah,
can we not make it heavily?
It's
weighted
also a
matchmaking?
shitty argument. Like sometimes even if you have friends, you just feel like playing some games by yourself with your feet up and and relaxing and not like fucking
I agree.
going hyper like
Not
talking to
having to
everybody.
talk.
Yo, no friends, Briar?
Yeah.
Just play Strikes, man.
Oh, come on, bro.
Lumi blocked me on Twitter, so now I got nobody.
I don't know. I feel like back then, I feel like in D1, I don't know. I mean, again, my experience is different. I feel like I could, solo queue quick play a lot more frequently than I can even in D2, like Gambit and or quick play, and especially in comp. Like you definitely can't. I feel bad for people who have to quick play comp, because it should not be a thing. You should not be matching a team of 4 playing alone with 3 other
Agreed.
players.
Remember they tried to make the matchmaking like if you were playing a team, it'd be a team of like people with like a lower elo than the solo. That doesn't mean anything.
It definitely does work though. Like
Does it?
No, like I have gone in solo in comp and then been like, okay, yeah, I'm playing against people that are relatively all my same skill level. You'll get the odd game where it's like, oh, these guys are really good matchmaking. But like when I would add more people to the group that were like all around my skill level, all of a sudden we were going up against really fucking good people because
Fair enough.
it was taking into account that, you guys are on a team, you can probably communicate more. And then we just lost more as a team. And then we went back down to just having 2 people, like just me and one other person queuing, and we were fine then. Yeah. Because it didn't mess with it.
I just keep my PvP experience to just about 3 to 4 games before Bungie kicks in the fuck you meter. Right? So you start playing and
were you having fun? Fuck
I
you.
was having fun. And then like, shit. Okay. So then I stopped playing PvP. So that's about right where right around 3 games is about what I put in before
the way the game's
I'm enjoying
laid out right now kind of encourages that too, because you're kind of incentivized to go from activity to activity.
Yeah.
To get all the the power stuff that you can if you haven't hit max level anyway. Once you hit max level, you can kind of do whatever you want to hang out until.
That's why I rushed to max level so I could just do whatever the fuck I wanted to and not have to.
I just hit my first character 600. My warlock.
Hey.
My warlock went to 600 and pretty excited.
Nice.
That's actually a pretty big milestone. To be honest with you, I did not think. Just to be honest, I did not think I was going to have the time to, based on the way that I was leveling, that I was going to have the time to get a character up to max level.
I think the last time I did that was in the Taken King. The last time I got a character up to max level was Taken King.
What?
Really?
Yeah. Like after I do a raid, I lose all motivation. Once I beat the raid, I figure, well, I'm high enough level now. So I lose all motivation.
Really?
Have you done the Shattered Throne?
Did you
Brian?
solo the Shattered Throne, man?
Nope.
Come on.
Did you do it?
Have you done the Shattered Throne?
Nope.
Oh,
Wow.
you're missing
You
out.
need to
Casual.
experience
Shattered
it,
Throne is
Brian.
really fun.
It's really good.
Really
I
fun.
did
And,
the Shattered Throne.
It makes
Even
me.
Lumi, the PvP lord here, has done the
I soloed it.
PvE.
It's a lot of
Look
fun,
at this
right?
guy.
And it made me look forward to the new raid lair, because if they did that for a Shattered Throne, like just like a little PvE activity, I'm really looking forward to what they do with the new raid lair.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think I'm going to try to solo it, but I'm definitely going after some pretty cool things that are in the Dreaming City that are open to me now. That I'm going and I'm looking for.
Did you get Wish Ender?
Stupid little cats and stuff. No, I haven't gotten Wish Ender yet. I did the first step to it.
Cool.
So I'm working on that. It's fun, man. I started my Titan, which I'm really feels good to be back on, home ground, playing the Titan again. And I just wanted to talk about this because I feel like a lot of casual players are kind of frustrated right now with the amount of time that they have to play in the grind that is in Destiny. And I've been testing out a theory that play one character for a month and then switch. And I'm actually getting a lot of enjoyment with a limited time schedule on the game because it gives me a chance to. One of the things that's frustrating is trying to feel like you need to do everything.
Right.
You're not getting everything done.
Feeling like you're missing
If you
out.
just focus on right. So if you just focus on one character, you can get the dailies done in a reasonable amount of time. You can make progress towards the weeklies. You can feel accomplishment in your character progression for that time, and then you get to know the character really well, and then you switch to another one.
That's
and
true.
It feels like the content is really fresh and lasts a long time. And
That's smart, Pope. One of the problems I have with switching all the time is I almost like forget like what are my supers, what's my class abilities, and all the classes feel generic because I never really deep dive into any one of them.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm telling you, man. I thought hunters sucked and warlocks were a bunch of whiny bitches. Sorry, but after spending time with them, I'm realizing that hunters are like the hunter character, and the play style is a lot of fun.
Damn right.
And it's really different. And once you focus on it, you realize that there's a really cool way of engaging into gunfights and in PvE and in PvP.
What about warlocks?
They're whiny bitches, aren't they?
Still whiny bitches.
Whiny bitches.
Warlocks. I found a new love for warlocks that I felt I never would have in that support class, and also void locks and being able to swallow a grenade and the different armor abilities. And I just highly recommend, if you're frustrated with Destiny right now, grab one character and play it solely for a while and see what it feels like. And really,
I think that's pretty good advice.
It is good advice.
You guys want to do some Twitter questions?
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
Suppose we can do some Twitter questions.
Is that okay, Master Patrick? You're keeping us on track.
Yeah, we
this episode.
Taskmaster.
Are we on track for Twitter questions?
Yeah, we've currently been at least I have been recording for about an hour and 11 minutes. So
We're not going over the 12. There's nothing in there.
Yeah. By the way, guys,
FYI.
There's a sweet clip in the movie section of a guy just going off with Chaperone. Watch that.
Yeah,
that's good. You should.
There's
that's a great
stuff
clip.
about Masterwork armor that we should talk about.
Not really.
Do you get 25% reduction in your super if you have it fully masterworked?
Yeah, in PvP.
Nailed it.
Or is that PvE too?
I think is it PvP as well? I thought it was just PvE.
Oh, now that we're talking about it, we have to go over it.
Now we gotta go, Brian.
I don't have it open. Somebody else is gonna have to read it.
I got it open.
The TWAB is like more confusing. It doesn't really make it clear.
If we can get through this without confusing everybody, I'm be really surprised.
That's not really our strong
Chat,
spot.
get your question marks ready.
Sandbox tester Ryan Hammond approaches the chalkboard here. He's giving a brief rundown on Masterwork.
Hold on. Can you confirm? Do they have an actual chalkboard that they chalk up?
Is this chalk? Or is
I would have figured that
a whiteboard.
Yeah, not a whiteboard. It's a chalkboard.
I didn't know they had chalkboards there. That seems like so old school.
I feel like
maybe even like those Microsoft Surfaces that like hang on a wall.
Well, that sounds like futuristic tech,
Masterwork
man.
armor breakdown. There are 3 families of Masterwork.
Wow.
Arc, Solar, and Void.
Holding those Bungie
Apparently,
secrets,
that is a NDA topic about chalkboards, guys.
Each family of
will
perks,
not discuss.
Each family of perks has 5 tiers. Each legendary armor item has a Masterwork perk randomly assigned, allowing each player to potentially build up 25 cumulative tiers of Masterworks for a given damage type. Each tier bestows the following effects: 1% damage resistance against any combatant attacking carrying the specific damage type, not player attacks, and then 1% damage resistance against any attack while the Guardian is in super.
Any attack. Okay, so it is PvP.
Any attack.
Yeah. So you can have up to
But
25% reduction.
Only while you are in your super.
Yeah.
25%.
So if you are in your super...
everyone's going to run exotic armor, so really it's only like 20%.
So a theoretical 20% reduction from getting Nova bombed while you're in the middle of, let's say, Striker Titan, Fist of Havoc.
Sure.
All right, Spectre Blades. I don't know why you'd do Spectre Blades unless you're a guy with chaperone. Maybe that, you know.
There you go. There you go.
Do you think that's going to save you from a Nova Bomb?
There's more here. There's more.
No.
That's not going to save you from a Nova Bomb, is it?
But it want to save you from like a shotgun melee.
Honestly, it'll probably save you from a Void
point.
Blade melee.
Good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
it'll probably save you from a Void Blade melee because it doesn't hit very hard.
Yep.
Super damage resistance stacks regardless of family disparity. For example, if a player has tier 12 Arc and tier 3 Void, they have a cumulative additional 15% damage resistance while in Super, but only 12% damage resistance versus Arc combatants and 3% versus Void combatants.
I think we summed up what we were looking for. We want to know if this was effective in PvP. We got the answer, right?
Okay.
There you go.
Can we get a follow up on this one?
The super damage resistance stacks multiplicatively with the
There's
innate
more?
damage
Sorry.
resistance of a
Say
super.
that again.
I think we
Can you
got the
read
info we
that?
Okay,
needed. guys.
the last one here is what will probably end up confusing people.
I want the last bullet point read again, please.
The in super damage resistance stacks multiplicatively with the innate
Is that
damage
even a word?
resistance of a super.
What's,
at that.
explain
Perfect.
that.
Multiplied.
Explain what they're
Okay,
saying.
The
so when
resistance
you
is
are
multiplied.
when you are in your super, you have an innate damage resistance,
Right. Unless
Right.
you're a golden gun.
unless you're golden gun, in which case fuck you. So the in super damage resistance stacks with that.
Multiplicatively.
Yeah.
Yes, multiplicatively.
Now I get it.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
But you need to
Questions?
keep something in mind, though.
Yes.
What's that?
What?
That Masterwork super damage resistance stacks with the base damage resistance of your supers. You will never be 100% invulnerable to attacks. Lastly, differences in the power level between Guardian and the combatants, no matter how many minors seem, play a large role in determining the incoming damage. Damage resistance modifying the damage after. If you have any
Okay, you're
problems with this-
just mumbling now. Stop.
Yeah.
Man,
All right.
that was great.
Twitter questions.
Consult your doctor
XX,
if you,
were
have,
there any-
if you fall
Did
asleep
that answer
randomly.
the questions?
No, I
Did
just
that-
raised more questions than it answered.
Okay, if you still have more questions about it, please fucking just ask in the comments or in chat.
No, just
We won't
we'll
answer.
We'll link you to the video that
Pretty
Patrick's
much,
gonna make.
you want to masterwork your armor. The
Hope
end.
we'll go through every comment of
It'll
this
help you.
video.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
TLDR is if you're a PvP player and you have like a one-time use super, you know, like Nova Bomb or Blade Barrage, don't bother masterworking your armor. However, if you are a roaming super, it's probably worth it because you won't be able to die as easily.
Yeah.
That's what it breaks down to for PvP.
All right.
I mean, it
Like
helps
he-
with, helps with PvE as
Do it
well.
anyway. Yeah, it helps.
20,
but
20%
for PvP,
reduction
at least.
in damage would be good. That's nothing
Weren't
to
we saying?
How often do you die in your super though?
In PvP,
pretty often.
PvP often.
Yeah, PvP.
Just play Nova War. You're fine.
Yeah, just, you don't die.
You could be a little more aggressive in your super in PvE.
Weren't we hoping that the mods for armor were going to be more creative?
Yeah.
Yes. Well. Yes.
What?
We have mods for armor. Just
Yes.
masterworking is very basic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyway, Twitter questions.
XX420 No Scopes XX says,
Just made up.
Hefty, Watts, how are you guys enjoying Red Dead Redemption 2?
That is a lie.
I
That is a
need-
lie. I call bullshit.
One.
I call bullshit. There is no Twitter question
Great
about that.
question, Briar.
That
No
is-
one uses that
It's
name
it's-
unironically.
That
It's
is a
weird
planted
that
question.
420 No Scope did not ask Briar how he's enjoying
Yeah.
Red Dead.
Yeah,
Very strange.
I call bullshit.
I'm offended, Pope. Offended.
Red,
attack my
Red,
journalistic integrity.
Red Dead.
You're about as journalistic as Brett Bart, man.
Red Dead, for the record, has been an amazing experience, and I've been absolutely loving it. My horse has not died. Smokadies,
Mine neither.
Smokadies, the eternal flaming heavy blunt from Odyssey, has been a strong, healthy horse. I've done some hunting, had some wild experiences with some hillbillies. Yeah, it's good stuff. Loving it.
We didn't call them hillbillies. The game called them hillbillies.
Is that
Wow.
offensive?
So
Hillbillies?
Probably.
Have you guys run into the Ku Klux Klan yet?
Yes.
No.
I
Oh my
haven't.
god.
They were lighting up a cross, and I threw
Yeah.
2 sticks of dynamite at them. It was incredible.
You don't even have to.
Good
You
man.
don't even have to do that. They burn themselves to death.
Yes, yeah, I did see that.
So
How?
I've only run into it twice so far. Both times were cross related. One time was they were trying to light a cross on fire and they burnt themselves to death. And the next time they were trying to raise a cross and they crushed themselves to death. So basically, every time I roll up on the Ku Klux Klan, I just sit there and wait to see what dumb shit they're gonna do to themselves. I feel like they nailed the average intelligence of a Ku Klux Klan member.
It's pretty amazing, honestly. It's great stuff.
Good.
Briar, worry about our demographics, man. You just insulted some listeners.
That's on YouTube, not on Twitch. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah, man, that game is a ton of fun. The controls are fucking batshit insane because there's like you need a controller with like 75 buttons on it to have like bespoke controls for everything you do. So like you'll be halfway through like a mission and your buttons just completely change based on what you're up to. So your exit button may change to your melee button, and all of a sudden you're punching some dude that you need to be talking to in the face. But like that almost adds to the fun at on some level, because
It does.
what's fun about this game is like it's so immersive, it's so beautiful, and like there's so much detail in like all of the conversations, all of the characters, and in the world. And then shit just goes sideways so often.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Like it is amazing. It really is a ton of fun.
The only major complaint I have right now is it won't save your loadout, and you always have to make sure you pull the right weapons off of your horse before you go and do stuff. Which I don't know why they did that. I feel like they should have always remembered that this is like you want your repeater and your pump shot or whatever. Like if that's your loadout that you always have, like why not remember it before you hop off the horse? So that's a little annoying.
It helps if you pull them out while you're on the horse. It's a little bit faster than waiting until you're off the horse, pulling them off of the horse.
But I never remember that. I'm always like, oh, right, I'm halfway through the mission. In fact, I failed the mission because of that. Because I had to go back to my horse to get some weapons.
I failed a mission because I got a text message. I glanced over very quickly just to see who it was. By the time I looked back, I had run headfirst into another set of riders on the trail, flipped over my horse, and they had started shooting me.
Wow.
All of this happened within 2 seconds, and I was dead.
Amazing.
I literally. Oh God.
Watts, how do you feel about butchers?
Yes,
They're
Watts.
fine. It's the Valentine butcher specifically. I have a bit of a problem with.
Yeah.
Everyone else is great.
What happened?
Yeah. He didn't want my fox. I gave it to him.
He
though.
wanted
I
your
did.
fox. He offered you
Did he
money.
really?
He
Did he?
offered you money
didn't.
for your fox. He did.
What'd you do
I
about
watched
it?
it live.
I didn't even get a chance to talk to him to bring the offer money.
You put
I don't know how
one right in his chest is what you did.
I did drop the fox. It was actually really funny because I did that. And my first reaction was to drop the fox next to him. I don't know why. I didn't have to do that.
Take the
But I was
fox.
like,
I'm outta
I
here.
told you, take the fox out.
There's a
That was
fair
my
trade
first
your
reaction.
life for a fox.
I'm sorry about the bullet hole. Just take the damn fox.
Yeah, he's
That's-
fine now, though.
Kind of one of the fun things too is that like your actions feel so permanent in this world that like you're trying so hard not to mess up anything, right? Like,
I
had
am
a-
trying to be a good cowboy. I'm trying
Right?
to be a good boy.
but then like you got to just roll with it because like whatever happens. All of a sudden you're in a shootout with like an entire town.
And your
I
bounty's
I
like
did have a
300 bucks.
situation where a woman was getting kidnapped. This was very early in the game. Woman was getting kidnapped. I got the dude, hogtied him, saved her. I was like, I'm going to take you to the police station because you are a criminal. A man saw me with a hogtied dude on the back of my horse and reported me for kidnapping.
Oh, you got to shoot him.
And then the cops
Yeah, I
came.
chase those people down.
So
They
and
just
beat 'em
get
up.
stitches.
I mean, you're right. If you go down that road of killing everyone who sees you, you end up killing half. If
It's
not,
true.
the entire-
Sometimes you
Yeah.
can just convince him not to tell anybody.
Yeah, I mean, you can
You know
definitely do
what?
that.
My
You
hog
catch an
tie.
eyewitness, you beat them up, you're like, don't do it. Then you rob them. And then once
Yeah.
they're 20 feet away, you shoot them in the head.
Hey,
This is-
Holtzman,
this is
you know
really
what other
interesting.
game is open world?
Hold on, Pope. 1 second. This is really
World of
interesting,
Warcraft
actually.
Classic and
If an NPC tells
Oh,
you some
yeah.
information and then walks away, you can follow that NPC And then at some point they're going to be like, why are you following me? I already told you what you need. Get out of here. It's incredible because it'll be a while. He'll be like, what's this guy doing, huh? And then he pipes up and is like, why are you stalking me? It's like, wow.
The
Attention to detail.
NPCs
The attention
feel like they have like a full day's worth of activities to do. So like
No.
like some guys will just stand in one spot. Like shopkeepers will just stand behind the counter. But then at night, like that guy will go up to bed and go to sleep, and you can like sneak into his shop and like rob his shop while he's sleeping.
Yeah.
That's messed up, bro.
I'm not saying I did. I'm just saying you could. If
No,
you chose to.
you implied that you did that. That's messed up. That man works for a living.
At least
I put a bear hat on. So the legendary bear.
Oh yeah, the bear hat is awesome.
And all they do the entire time is make fun of how I look.
Really?
They do. They're like, that's an interesting choice of outfits you got on there, Arthur.
Dutch just straight up laughed at me. He was like, "Oh, what are you doing over there?" I'm like,
I don't understand fashion these days.
Yeah, that's what's
They do, they'd
interesting.
be funny the whole
The
day.
way you talk to people in the camp, like they remember. So if you antagonize your camp members a bunch, they're like, you're an asshole. Don't talk to me. If you're nice, they're like, hey, how's it going? How's your day? It's interesting.
It is. It's an incredibly
"Thank you, 420 no
real
scope
ass
for that
world.
question."
Yeah, thanks for
Yeah,
that.
that was a good question, 420.
Yeah.
As usual, I will say some of the best questions we've ever gotten from that guy. Keel Everett says, if an exotic weapon was named after luminosity, what would be the weapon and what would its exotic perk be? I'm thinking something along the lines of a sniper rifle.
I mean, it'd probably just be like a shotgun, but like double the Felwinter's lie range.
Chaperone.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you could
call it
body
milk
shot.
first. Just call it milk first.
It's a good name for it, actually.
Yeah.
That
Good
is.
name.
Yeah. Vex milk first.
When you
It could be a
shot
Vex weapon.
it
From a
hurt
Vex
you,
strike.
damaged you to actually shoot it.
Wayne says, we all remember the buzz in the community when the Whisper Quest was discovered. It's clear the community eat this stuff up and want more. How often should these types of quests be dropped into the game to keep the hype, but not make the community complacent about them?
Ooh, it's a good question.
That's a good question.
I personally think every 2 or 3 months. Like it's been nearly 2 months now. I think this is a perfect time for
a new one.
for a hidden quest
Do you
to show
think-
up.
Do you think the mystery quest was supposed to be that?
No.
For the Festival of Lost?
Yeah.
I hope not. 'Cause
Murder mystery.
yikes.
Oh,
The-
yeah. I see. What you
Yeah, if I this question is in reference to like
I know what it is.
whisper the mission or whisper of the worm type stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally, he said that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I
Right.
zoned
It's
out.
the same team. It's the same team that
He was
made it,
thinking
so
about
that's
Gumbo.
why
He was
I did it.
dreaming.
No. It's more of like I don't think that style mission was supposed to be the same thing. Like the cool thing about Whisper is that it's just like it's unannounced. We knew about this thing that was coming.
Ah.
We're sitting.
Oh,
at
I
the start.
thought I was
how
thinking
often
about
holds?
mysteries and
Mhm.
How often do you think it
Even
should show up? Oh, okay. Got it.
I mean, to be fair, even though we knew like we were getting it, we thought it'd be an actual step, not buy engrams or
Right.
whatever, right? Or even go collect them in the wild. Like that's so.
but we don't talk about like cheeses here, okay?
Hey, I actually earned them. I went out
Oh,
and
you
I
did?
played.
I
Yeah, I
went
didn't
into the
buy. I'm not
haunted
wasting
forest.
legendary shards.
I was in the haunted forest just farming for the mask, and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
sweet, freaking completed it!" Because I picked up legendary engrams, and that counts as you
It's
decrypting
just
them.
so weird.
Well,
that
yeah,
that would
one
be
week,
a step.
The Festival of the Lost left, right? 1 week
Mhm.
ends on the
Yeah, it
6th.
ends on the
November
yeah.
6th. Yep.
You have to get your auto rifle, right?
Horror
I'm
story.
not getting that.
Have you
I'm
guys
probably
gotten-
not getting it on purpose, honestly. I just want the shader.
Has anybody gotten it here?
I could
I have
have
it on
bought it.
PS4.
I don't
What is
really
it?
use auto rifles, so I wasn't really that interested.
What
in
was it like?
It's not
Like
for me.
origin story.
Okay, can you describe it for like the people who are
Okay,
not
so-
here?
Good for an auto rifle.
So you know origin story, the auto rifle. Okay, it's like that, but with Zen moment.
Okay.
It's-
Triggerblade says, do you think the Festival of the Lost Exotic Quest will continue on the 4-day reset or the weekly reset?
Good question. Don't know. That would be nice if it continues.
I'm gonna say weekly.
Yeah, didn't they confirm that
Because
actually?
they specifically said 3 weeks in the TWAB.
Yeah, they said in the TWAB it was going to continue and unfold with this whole murder mystery.
Yeah.
Starkiller 421 says, I don't really care about this crypt arc. Do you think it should have been Tyra Karn? No, I think it should have been Tess Everest.
How about Rahul?
The only problem is if it was Tess Everest, nobody would have investigated the murder.
Yeah. This is kind of a side note about the murder mystery, but I thought we were gonna like go into the world and look for clues, and track something down. You know, when I hear murder mystery, I'm like, oh, that sounds kind of fun.
Yeah,
but this wasn't. We weren't looking for clues. We were picking up engrams.
Yeah,
but I would have liked it if we were maybe.
We don't know what the next steps are either. But
no,
definitely the first one should have been like, hey, go to IO and look for a clue, you know, and then come back and whatever. But
yeah, isn't it weird also this whole thing isn't like happening or it's not concluding during Festival of Lost? Like, because it showed up as like, oh, there's going to be a murder mystery. And then
that's a good point.
It's going to finish and then it's going to be, we're still investigating the death.
Well, it'll be like a week or whatever before Black Armory.
Yeah.
Won't it? Yeah.
Well, it's all the
2 weeks.
That's all the lead up. It feels like Paul Tassi wrote about this in Forbes magazine. He said that he felt like this was a marketing lead up to Black Armory, and that the reward would be
the Thunder Lord,
the exotic Thunder Lord. And then you like this stuff. Well, you're gonna see more of it with the Black Armory.
Fair enough.
That's some super good advice, man.
Chris Lennon says, for how underwhelming the Ives quest was, what do you think will be a good alternative to time-gated content?
Okay, time-gated content. They actually did it really well in Forsaken. Like, we would not have probably would have been mad at them if they dropped all of the story missions as soon as Forsaken was available and the Shadow Throne was available. All of that was time-gated.
Yeah.
All of that is time-gating. But the reason for that time-gating made sense. There was a story behind it. It was unfolding. The steps made sense on what we had to do for those things.
Even the strike, right?
Right, exactly. But this is literally just like, here's the thing. You'd pick up engrams and you're done. There's no unfolding story behind it necessarily. It's just she's talking to you right at the beginning, Amanda Holiday, when you pick it up. But that's it. There's no like story that continues. Plus, we're investigating a murder and we're waiting a week.
Yeah.
Why are we waiting a week?
Hurry up.
Gotta be patient.
The corpse is like rotting.
Yeah,
the forensics lab is really backed up right now.
There's been a lot of Guardians dying out there. They got a lot of TPS reports to write.
Can work really well. You have to do it properly.
Yeah, honestly,
you have to do it with purpose.
The Forsaken time gating, I think, has been like some of the best because it's been exciting to see what pops out for like the first, I guess it was 5 weeks, right?
Well, then the Ascendant Challengers too. They were new for how many weeks in a row?
Mm-hmm.
8. Yeah, 8. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
That's cool.
Well, they've done a really good job with it so far, and I would like to think that this murder mystery piece of it, at least this first leg of it, didn't roll out as intended.
Let's hope
it rolled out pretty flat.
Which is weird with how well everything in Forsaken has been. You would think that it would have been like better planned out.
So we should clarify exactly what that quest is right now, because I think some people might be like, yeah, what's up with that? So I didn't do it.
Go ahead. Oh.
I know about it. I know it takes 5 minutes, but I actually didn't do it this week yet. So
there is a quest currently in the tower that you can go start, and it's a murder mystery that was kind of hyped up at the very start of Festival of the Lost. They were like, hey, at the end, there's going to be a murder mystery quest to go do. So I think what we all had in mind was like, oh, we're going to go do a quest. And like, it's going to be something that we could just kind of do over a day or two, solve the mystery.
Quest. Meaty quest.
Meaty quest. And it turns out you go in and you talk to Amanda, you get a thing that says get like 10 engrams or whatever. And then after you do that, you're
time gated.
You're done.
It says, oh, we have to decrypt something else and come back once we have. Mm-hmm. So it's like there's a story element in there.
It's not really a story though.
Yeah.
It's like we're just really slow at decrypting.
So you can go directly from Amanda and then directly to Rahul. Suspicious, right?
Yeah.
Rahul, that smug son of a bitch.
Very suspicious.
And buy 10 engrams, and then you're done with the quest.
Yes, you do.
You've locked up a
It's
quest in
about
5
3
minutes.
minutes.
3 minutes, my bad. 5 minutes if you're eating a sandwich.
It can take time to get everything.
It's a little disappointing.
I tried doing it legit, and I spent about 20 minutes going and killing like a fallen captain in EDZ. It's like kill powerful fallen in EDZ. I was like, okay, yeah. Went into Lost Sector, kept doing it. I'm like, I've only gotten 1 engram. I'm just gonna go to Rahul. Fuck it.
I think I finished it in like 2 of the Haunted Forest things, and it was something that I needed to do anyway. I needed to play the Haunted Forest, so I was like, see how far I get with that.
2 runs through the Haunted Forest, so like up to like 8 rounds.
Yeah.
I was hoping that the pages that we got from the decryptions would say something.
Oh, that we could read them. See, that even that would add something.
Because like some lore involving the Festival of the Lost,
and
like
a little bit better.
Maybe like a horror story, like a you know,
like some evidence, like a gun covered in awoken blood.
Yeah.
Or like Tess Everest's signature.
Yes.
Yeah, see, I would have liked that. I would have really liked that. Adding more backstory, more lore to the world for me to see. That would have been much better than, hey, you're dead. Okay, wait a week.
Cool. Time gate.
Topher asks, should Destiny 2 have Luna's Howl / Not Forgetting type quest line for PvE? The question would be to bring back strike scoring from Destiny 1 and tie that into a quest somehow.
We talked about this last week,
I think
right?
you should. We did. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
Briar's trying to recycle content.
That's wow. I think it's a good thing to bring up. I think absolutely it would be awesome. Like if you soloed the Shattered Throne and let's say you did that a couple times, you did the raid a few times, maybe you did the Petra's Run, like all like these list of things checked off that would add to a PvE style exclusive perk on a gun that you can only get from doing that stuff. I think that'd be really cool. A lot of people are going to say, well, 1,000 Voices is that gun. No, it's not. That's tied to RNG. It's tied to an activity that you do that you may or may not get it from. This would be something where you have a long quest line of things that a lot of people would go, ugh. But that's the point, is to go, ugh. Look at all the stuff you got to do.
That would be cool. Like, you know, like it could be like, oh, do like 10 Shattered Throne runs and then do like, you know, like 5 more raids on top of it. Do like another. It could be anything, you know. It'd be
skill based though, so you'd have to like do them like without dying or something.
Yeah, get like 300,000 in a Nightfall, and like, well, is that possible?
Or the Petra's Run is a skill based thing, so like that could be examples of it.
Petra's Run is also pretty heavily RNG based right now. Too.
It is, yeah. But like that type of concept right there, and also needs to have a gun that actually has a perk that you can only get literally from just that gun. So not like suddenly a horror story gun. Like no, it would be It'd be like
I think they're really onto something with these Pinnacle Crucible things, making a weapon special and unique, and they should just use that for all the different players of Destiny. People who love Gambit, people who love PvE, people who love Raid, whatever it is.
Then they can just put a new name on it for the next season, and it'd be
right.
Yeah. So.
Red Rich's Crutch. What did we call it? Red Rich's
Scrub Lord.
Scrub Lord.
Redrick Scrub Lord. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
This is one of the better jokes we've ever had, I thought.
So one thing that I did that I thought was hilarious at the time was when they announced like the Redrix was coming back, or basically, and it was like it was going to be tied to a quest, and you guys like fucking flipped your lids about it, and then I was just sitting there going like, they don't know about the quest. And then, like 24 hours later, they released it, and it was like a complete 180.
People were like, "Oh, I'm gonna go play comp to get the."
I like because they're like, "Holy shit, yeah, we got to go play comp now. This is great." Okay, yeah, I'd rather do that. Oh, I just thought that was one of those things that was kind of funny from the inside.
Jelly Belly 100 says, as a person known for impressive shotgun play, he's talking to you, Lumi. Do you think shotguns are balanced in this meta? What could be done to make fusion rifle snipers more relevant? Keep being awesome.
You too. Keep being awesome. I think a lot of the problem with shotguns has always been like map design combined with movement. I think people forget, in Halo, you're walking everywhere essentially. Now, especially if you're on PC, I'm sure you have a lot of people macroing, flying everywhere, shotgunning you with synthos, and it doesn't help that essentially they have to do half damage, 100 HP, and then they can melee you. Other than like, map design, again, I've always been, advocating for strong primaries, and even like sniper rifles. I'm not sure what it is about them, because even though in D1 it's always been shotgun, favoring like a shotgun meta, I feel like you could pull off a lot more plays with, like your longbow, because then you had like a last word to pair it with. You could actually like counter people. I feel like sniping in D2 is pretty much dead. And I think that, that could be a combination of flinch, how quickly people move, primaries not being, you really don't have a primary to counter someone running at you with a shotgun. But I'm not sure how they could buff sniping. Do you guys have any idea?
So one thing I did notice is sniping is easier with a controller.
Oh yeah,
because you have the aim assist, but also flinch is probably the most annoying part about sniping right now.
Yeah.
And that when you have that extra aim assist, it's easier to counteract flinch. Whereas when using, mouse and keyboard, getting flinched is really jarring, because you don't have like, there's almost a feel to it when you're using a controller. You can counteract it fairly easily.
Yeah.
Not easily, but there's a skill to it there. With
and like,
mouse and keyboard, it's a lot more difficult. So I don't know, mouse and keyboard reduce the amount of incoming flinch.
That could work. I mean, well, flinch for sure, but like one thing they could do too is like the medium impact sniper should one shot like roaming super, like they did in D1, right?
I would love for adaptives.
You can't even counter a roaming. Like if a Nova Warp is coming at you, if you land a headshot, you should kill them every time.
I've had many occasions where I've like landed that headshot and then died, and like, okay, now I have to count on my team to do it.
Yeah, you should have killed them right then and there.
And landing a headshot on these roaming supers is pretty difficult.
It's difficult, so you should be rewarded. No.
Do you think
Shaquille,
hold on, if you had that, do you think shotguns would have to be buffed to be able to kill supers too? Or would it just be exclusive to a sniper being able to do that?
Well, definitely snipers should be buffed regardless of what happens to the shotgun. But I do feel like shotguns, like before, like you can never one-on-one like shotgun melee. Like especially a Nova Warp, you're not going to kill. Dawnblade, you're not going to kill with a shotgun. Something like to the point like supers, you either have to counter, like Blade Barrage counter super them, or you have to team shot them from far away. I definitely think shotgun damage should be buffed on like the supers, I think, to like have a chance of countering them one-on-one. Because while you should feel like, yeah, I can kill 3, 4, 5, you should be getting countered in a way. Like if you run into a room with 3 people, you shouldn't be able to kill 3 people, because now you even have like a blocking mechanism. If you're playing Arc or Sentinel, you can block damage. Which is like mind-blowing to me. I don't think they should have ever added a blocking like mechanism to PvP, because I feel like, if you're running at me with Sentinel and I have Blade Barrage, like if you block, like the timing for me to get my Blade Barrage is so tiny. I have to be like perfect to make it work. I don't think blocking should have been a thing in like PvP.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Shaquille Everett says, if Guardians are worthy of light, are they worthy to hold Thor's hammer?
Worthy is a very weirdly defined thing in the Marvel universe.
I'm gonna go with yes.
I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna say no, because it depended more on like their more like intent and morals. And there's some pretty shitty Guardians out there.
Wait a minute, didn't the bad girl in Thor Ragnarok
spoilers.
She was bad.
She stopped it.
I'm gonna go with yes.
That was a sister too, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
That one.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was a really good one. I liked the part where, even though Pope spoiled tons of shit for people, I can't stoop down to his level.
Kiltari says, since this issue is everywhere, what exotic weapon are you taking into comp matches? Telesto, Chaperone, Wardcliff, or Telesto?
All of them. At the same time.
Everybody
running
has
Telesto,
equipped.
Chaperone, and Wardcliff.
I do have all of them to trade out.
Usually chaperone for me, but if I'm playing against a full team using Telesto, I will put it on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The best counter to Telesto is like another
It's
Telesto.
Telesto.
Yeah.
Or a sniper rifle.
Hmm.
If you can actually hit shots.
Ben Warner says, should swords be a special weapon to make them more viable in all content? Make them the kinetic version of fusion rifles with 2 exotics being in the energy slot.
I mean, in terms of PvP, it's really weird because if you look at it, like you don't ever run a sword in PvE, whereas like back in D1 you would, right? I forgot the like Dark Shrinker and all them, you would run them depending on like what you were doing. I mean, I definitely think swords could use the huge PvE damage buff, but I don't think they should be secondary. I think that'd get really annoying, like another one-shot like mechanism, especially because you can third peak with them too.
Yeah, that's really bad.
That'd be a problem. Yeah,
and if they ever
like third peaking in general is really bad, like emoting even.
Yep. If they ever fix the melee registration in this game, then swords would run it in the energy.
Yeah.
But right now, it's like a 50-50 chance you're going to miss with melee reg right now.
K-Brash says, seems like none of the Year 2 exotics have catalysts. Do you think Bungie has abandoned the catalyst idea?
They better not. It's an amazing idea.
I think they're probably, if anything, time gated, right?
Yeah.
Like
Probably.
to when we don't, and they'll probably come with each DLC. They'll come with Black Armory and then like the Gambit one. They're definitely holding off on them till like there's like no more. Like they're not going to add like that many new exotics. They'll just add the catalyst for them.
Yep.
It's true. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with some of the new exotics with the catalyst.
What do you guys think the catalyst should be for them? Like
Ace of Spades, more damage.
What could they make?
Everything.
More range.
More
It's already
everything.
so good.
Rockets added to Ace of Spades.
Ace of Spades is an exotic
Increased
catalyst.
fire rate.
Yeah, Ace of Spades exotic catalyst could literally just be it makes orbs on multi kills now. I'm like that's
Yeah,
it.
that's-
Just the
That
base
would be
level
really
thing.
good
Yeah,
too.
seriously.
Diva Chop says, would you want to see Destiny become a competitive esport like the Overwatch League?
I don't know. The game's not intended for that, so I wouldn't want it to be something it's not, in my opinion. Like coming, because I mean they'd have to like completely abandon the PvE side to do that, and that
That's
would
true.
never ever happen. Yeah, and that would like draw away like majority of the player base too, because while people do play PvP and like you're even interested in comp, the amount that play PvE, a lot bigger.
Yeah. I could see them dropping PvP faster than they drop PvE.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And honestly, I don't disagree with you guys, but it makes me sad to hear you say that, because to me, having a comp community and seeing people at the top levels compete is really fun and exciting for me to watch.
I mean, it can be.
I agree.
Yeah. Any like PvP at the top level is always really fun to watch, but to think like how big Overwatch League is and like how much like they've put in, I know it would never get to that point, but that doesn't mean we can't have our own, community ran PvP tourneys for fun, like we did at Guardian Con, and that can just be enough, And like I've come to the, back when D1 came out, I had like, oh, maybe it will be that big. It'll be the new Halo in terms of like comp or COD, but I've come to the realization it'll never be like that new COD or Halo, and that's okay.
There's just so many fundamental
Have you
problems.
checked out the new COD?
I played Blackout and like Call of Duty. I'm done with COD. I was very into it as a kid. Now not a game for me.
No, just over
Like too twitchy, like way too like too much going on for me. I'm getting old.
Tell me about it, brother. Diva Chop. This is 2 questions by Diva Chop, but they're both good. Who would you wish to hear narrating the Last Wish raid? So we've had like some guest announcers. Who would you like to see do it?
Interesting. Can
I like to
Tefty
hear
Tef do it?
Shax. I like Shax.
Shax would be good.
Yeah.
I like
Asher?
Shax just yelling at me constantly. Asher would be amazing.
Asher, man.
Actually.
Yeah, that would be good.
Impossible.
This is impossible.
That'd be great.
Samuel L. Jackson.
I do like Asher. Like he'd get a piece of loot. He's like, "What is this?
Chad
Irrelevant."
Chad
Exactly.
Cade. Cade would be like a
Cade,
little throwback.
that'd be pretty good.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
Dinklebot.
that'd be
They
old
bring
school.
him back.
Have him
to
make him
the-
come back.
That was the first real death.
Tyrion Lannister.
That's true.
Phoenix Randall says, question. If you were offered a large amount of money to be in space isolation test experiment, would you do it? No peril involved. You're isolated for 1 year in a self-sustained unit in space, and you get to bring 5 objects to pass the time, like a book, a movie, music, game, toy.
I'm gonna bring the internet and a PC so I can stream from space.
Yeah, I mean, if you
You're
can
missing
do
the
that,
point,
but
Watson.
if you're alone, I think they've already done studies on that. People go like actually insane within
Oh, I'd
like,
lose my. Well, actually,
Oh
no,
yeah,
like,
totally.
a week or two.
I'm streaming from space.
I get that way if I like am in my office alone for like 5 days straight. Like I don't have like
Human contact.
human contact. Like
Yeah, and I
like
think like
yeah. Or like photo
Um,
season, I'll go from streaming straight to a photo shoot. I'll be out till 10 o'clock. I'll come home. Everybody in my house is asleep.
Yeah.
I'll go to bed. They'll wake up, go to school and work. And by the time I wake up, everybody's gone. So it'll be like multiple days before I see anybody.
Yeah, that'll mess.
That's
with
gotta
me.
be
I mean, like,
nice, Briar.
that definitely
It's not-
can
it's
happen.
not. You'd
Like,
think it
for
would be, it's
streamers
not.
too. Like when you end
Oh,
up
yeah,
streaming
totally.
and you have that weird schedule. Like, yeah, that would happen to me a lot, and it was weird and it sucked.
Yeah. It really pays. Like it's hard to not have social.
Like physical human
The
contact.
Twitch chat is good, right? And it helps with that. But it's not the
Mhm.
same as like having like actual like.
That's what I'm saying. I
Physical-
could stream from space. I'm not breaking the rules.
No, you're not. You could.
Still
You could have a
alone. Still
computer.
gonna be lonely.
You're gonna
Actually,
have
you
a
do it
really
with a
bad ping.
PlayStation.
Your ping rate's gonna be really bad. You keep-
Yeah, you're
I might
gonna
be
get
dropping
banned
a
for
lot of
Playing
money.
lagging.
Destiny though, that's only gonna help. She's gonna be a god.
Unstoppable.
Damn it, it's a space streamer. again.
It's like she's playing from space.
Yeah, I
You can
think.
probably get me
Hi.
balanced Wi-Fi up there, right?
Yeah, I think I would probably pass on that, no matter how much money it would, because like I'm extremely blessed in the position that I'm in. You know, like Memes and I, we play games together and all that. But even with that, like we make a point to like go out just about every day, go to a coffee shop or something. Like that interaction of going out and seeing people moving and sunshine in my face, like it's important to me.
That's
You see,
actually
I-
only something that I've learned to start doing over the past few months. Is actually like
Mm,
don't make coffee at home. Go out to the coffee shop and get coffee. Like make a point to like get out of the house, take a walk, get physical contact because it'll be weeks at a time
That's
where
funny.
I could literally not see anybody.
You guys are the exact opposite of me. Like I go to video games and curl up in my house to get alone
away.
from people. I get
Yeah.
too much in human interaction
Yeah.
in a day. I mean,
Well, that's the thing. Tomo doesn't want to
Yeah.
go out because he's around people all day and he's managing people.
That's
No,
true.
he's
Yeah.
not.
He
You have
doesn't
to
wanna
find
go
like a balance, right?
And then,
Yeah, it's a balance.
yeah.
It is. It is.
Mhm.
Corey Garber says, if you could take a weapon from Destiny 2 and use it in the zombie apocalypse, what would it be? Ammo
Sunshot.
is not a concern.
Uh,
Ace of Spades, man.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm gonna go with sweet business.
Sweet business is a good.
I'm just gonna hold down the trigger.
mm.
I got unlimited ammo. I'm gonna tape something to keep the trigger just going.
That's right.
1,000 voices could be really good too.
Oh, here comes Watts. There she goes. Thousand of Voices is a good one too.
Yeah, that would.
Edge
Yeah.
transit.
You would only need one bullet. You just get rid of all the zombies.
Yeah, you get all.
Yeah, I'm going with Edge transit, 100%. By the
There's
way,
too much of a chance of me blowing myself up with a grenade launcher.
I'm up to
Did they nerf-
2 rows.
did they nerf-
so far? Of
Did
Edge
they nerf
transits.
Edge Transit's proximity detonation?
They nerf proximity
Yeah, in
detonation.
general.
So yes, they did, Pope.
Yes. The only redeeming factor of all my Edge Transits is I had one that I liked that had proximity detonation.
Why not like them all, man? What's up with that?
Get a better one.
Right?
Because a lot of them sucked.
Don't talk to Ed that way. Jesus.
It's edgy to talk to Edge that way.
Ed's got feelings, man. Come on.
Most interesting Korean says, can we get Pope Bear and Holtzman to get a Brazilian butt wax?
No.
Every month they don't get the tattoo.
Yeah.
We already
Yes.
agreed that something will happen if we don't get it by the 1st of
Do
January.
you remember what that was?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Ice
What are you
cream?
doing?
I don't feel like that's
Gonna-
very committal.
You go out and get gelato or something? This is come on.
Something's gonna
Jesus.
happen, guys.
I want gelato.
You too cannot get a butt tattoo, Lumi, and get gelato.
Oh, okay.
Sounds good to me.
You don't remember, Patrick? You
No.
put your name on it.
Oh, okay, whatever.
I mean,
think
you like
this just
said it was
shows
gonna
what his
happen.
word is worth.
No, I just don't remember. Such an small, little, insignificant thing because I know it's going to happen, so I don't have to worry about what the
Right, your
consequences
word
will
is
be.
small and insignificant.
No,
Or is he talking about the tattoo? Ash is very offended. That artwork that she's working on is not insignificant.
no. The act of getting such a small, insignificant thing in the grand scheme of whatever. Fuck. Next question.
Chevy says, if you could live within one of your favorite games and actually participate in it, which game would it be?
Red Dead.
Yeah, Red Dead's
Pokemon.
got a strong pull right here.
Well, do you have the abilities of the character?
You know,
Yes.
you know what'd be rough about Red Dead though?
What's
So
that?
you're a drunk toddler when you're running.
It's true.
That too.
Not knowing what any of my limbs is going to do at any point in time.
You'd have to smell everything. I feel like it'd be pretty bad smelling.
I mean, we'd probably be pretty stinky. Although we do get the bath lady to clean us. She makes us
True.
clean.
You go nose blind.
You go,
to it
like-
all eventually too.
You're skinning animals. You know, you're in the
Yeah.
swamp.
Sitting on
Does-
your horse
does
for
the
like
bath
5
lady-
days
All right.
because you got distracted.
Does the bath lady get hand?
So, I'd do World of Warcraft because even if you don't have the abilities, all it takes is leveling up. So yeah, even if I started
Maybe
out, it's like,
survive that long.
just kill boars in the forest. How hard can it be?
There you go. I know.
Yeah, nobody's ever died killing a boar.
I'd move into Pooh Beach in City Skylines.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'd be the
Okay.
mayor. I'd clean it up eventually.
What was that Dead or Alive volleyball game that came out in the early 2000s?
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Alive
That's a good
volleyball.
choice.
Any of them really.
The slow motion jigglies.
Yeah, that's where I think I'd be going.
Good choice.
I don't know.
You have to participate, so.
Hey, all right. I like volleyball. The Mohican 9 says, you have a bounty on your head for making some bad decisions. Do you sell your faithful steed to pay them off?
No, never.
Hell no. Go rob somebody.
I would love- yeah.
You make more bad decisions to cover.
Yeah,
up
we're gonna
the last bad
keep
decision.
robbing
Rob a
people
train.
and racking up.
That is my experience, Pope, with Red Dead Redemption. just make more bad decisions.
As long as you have a mask on, you're fine.
Yeah.
That's right.
Just gotta keep your mask on.
Change your hat.
Yeah, change your hat. Exactly.
Will you lose wanted? Will you no longer be wanted if you change your hat and mask and like?
No,
It depends on the situation.
Yeah, so it'll be wanted unknown suspect, but if they see you and they know it's you, it'll be wanted Arthur Morgan. And if it's Arthur
Yeah.
Morgan that's wanted, then you have to pay that bounty.
Yeah. If it's unknown suspect, you can change your hat and like nobody sees you do it, you can just walk away.
Yeah.
So space jumping and he murders everybody until there's no bounty left. Is that how it works?
That's the plan.
You just keep murdering people until there's nobody to put a bounty on you anymore.
Essentially, yeah.
That's messed up.
It does
Super
kind
messed
of go that way sometimes.
It could get
Is
out of
that-
hand.
The NPCs, if they
Get
see
out
you
of
murder somebody,
Yeah.
they'll run off and go get
Yeah.
the police.
Yeah, it'll show like a little
Yeah.
eyeball
But if
thing
you-
that they're going to go report it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can kill that person so they won't do that.
Or hog tie them.
Or you
Or
can
question them,
you can hog time and
beat
threaten
them.
them. Or you could kill the police when they show up. And that could take care of the whole thing too.
No.
So you have several
As
steps.
soon as you kill a police, though, your bounty starts skyrocketing. It's like $20-$30 every
It
time you kill
does.
somebody.
And then they keep coming.
yeah, they keep
They
sending
have
them.
every
That's true.
town, no matter how tiny, has an unlimited police force.
Yeah.
That's true.
As soon as the
Oh.
cops are showing up, and if you're killing cops there, like it's going to get super expensive. You might as
Everybody
well
gets deputized.
reload. Just reload that save real quick.
Ringo the Dingo says, "Oh wait, this is the last question. Jesus, we got through all the questions.
Whoa.
I'm a little upset, Briar.
Unbelievable.
Did the Mohican 9 not submit one?
He did.
I think we already asked it.
He just asked
you?
it.
Yeah.
No, the most interesting Korean.
He already asked it.
You already got a question in for him?
Yeah, he asked about the Brazilian butt waxes every month that you don't get a tattoo.
Okay. Good. I was thinking that we were almost going to go a show without him.
Interesting how you'd forget that one.
Ringo the Dingo says, follow-up question for last week. DCP crew and guests, plane crashes in the mountains in the middle of a blizzard.
Okay.
You guys remember that question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So
we're going to eat Briar.
We were going to eat Briar.
Yeah. We chose Briar to eat. That's right.
Even if we can like see the civilization, it's like we got to eat Briar. Sorry.
Briar's dead.
1 hour in, Briar's getting roasted. He's literally on a spick.
You won't be rescued for days. There's no transportation. 50 miles to get to help. Who of you was flying the plane?
50 miles?
Yeah.
That's not very long.
Who was flying the plane? That's the question.
Not
I'm running.
Wait, what?
Probably Briar was flying.
I feel like Pope would know how to fly.
Yeah, Briar. Why are you doing this, man? Why are you getting us in this situation? Now we gotta eat you. Jeez, man.
Yeah.
I'm a little upset about you, so we're gonna eat you.
This is how problems are solved in DCP. Somebody's getting eaten.
You cause too many problems, you get eaten. This is like Lord of the Flies here.
All right, that was all the questions. I mean, we got
nicely done.
I mean, it's 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at 2 hours.
Roughly.
Like I didn't skip any of them. We just went through the whole list.
Hey, man, that's what happens when you got a murder mystery that takes 5 minutes to solve. All right?
And it's Robin's like, by the way, it's going to be like this.
This reminds me of that content drought where we were just talking about, like, we had half the show was other games. Remember last year?
Yo, Red Dead isn't a game.
I remember many times where we had that, not just last year.
Red Dead is fine.
Well, I don't mind talking about Red Dead. I love watching you guys play it. I'm having a blast watching you play it.
It is it's a fun game to play. I highly encourage
Who
everybody
here
to pick it up.
Has already voted?
I have to drop it off the mailbox. It's an absentee ballot.
Am I the only one who already voted?
Yes, I think you might be.
I would if I could.
Unbelievable.
Don't forget to vote, by the way.
Yes.
It's super important.
Wait, you can't vote?
I'm not a citizen.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
She's a foreigner.
I thought it was
I am
you're
actually
too
a
short.
felon. That's why.
I thought you were too short to vote. You didn't hit the minimum height requirement to vote.
Guys,
That's why Pope has
we got a tweet today, and it was basically Taco Bell voted number one Mexican restaurant in the United States.
I remember that.
And this is what happens when people don't go and vote. So please go and vote November 6th.
Not seeing anything wrong with this.
That's why we have the right to vote, to exercise that voting ability, all right?
It's lots of felon. That's chat of the night.
Pay my
right
bounty.
Yeah, man, go vote. You're not allowed to
make sure you vote.
That's how I see it.
If you have the ability to vote, you should.
Yeah.
Watts, don't worry. I'll vote twice for you. Just tell me who you.
I'm sure that's.
And if you're a convicted felon, don't vote. All right, please. Or maybe, I don't know.
Or vote twice.
Yeah.
Vote for government
Get
stuff.
another.
Country things, guys. Country government stuff.
Yeah.
It's important.
Yep.
It is important.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening.
109.
For what, Patrick?
For
what? Thanks for what?
Joining us.
Thanks for nothing.
For joining us.
For your vote for Taco Bell's best restaurant.
For this insignificant.
Thanks for your lack of tattoo on the ass.
Yeah. Thanks for not caring about following.
You can find me running away from my problems at @Holson_YT on Twitter, where I will most likely, post pictures of gumbo. Hopefully,
ooh, gumbo.
I could use some of that right now. Some comfort
Some
food.
hot pics of gumbo.
I'm gonna post pictures of Gumby.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
Weird.
Who goes next? Me?
I'm Briar Rabbit. You can find me on Twitter. Look up at the Briar Rabbit. Come hang out. I stream every afternoon. We've been doing a lot of Red Dead Redemption. I'm sure you can figure that one out.
Serious?
Having a lot of fun with that. The hijinks are real. The chaos is amazing, and the plans never go as expected.
Awesome. I'm Teft. You can talk to me at Teft on Twitter. I too have been streaming Red Dead Redemption lately because Cowboy wanted Dead or Alive, 6-stringer, Bon Jovi. It's been a lot of fun, good stuff. Recently, I actually just did our first creative stream. My wife and I, Memes. We've been wanting to do a music creative stream. We actually finally did that yesterday, which was really cool. So there may or may not be more of that in the future. Possibly, we'll see. That might be coming to the channel. And you can find that channel at twitch.tv/TeftyTeft. And occasionally YouTube gets some love as well, like some stream uploads from Red Dead. Yeah.
Lumi.
I'm Lumi. You can follow me on Twitter at Luminosity48 and on Twitch at twitch.tv/Luminosity. I just stream, PvP, the average PvP content.
He's just an average god killing people with an extremely high kill counts.
Yeah, it's easy. I am Miss 5000 Watts, and you can find me on Twitch and Twitter and YouTube. I'm not killing butchers anymore. I'm killing other people.
You're reformed?
From butchers, specifically.
I'm sorry, Watts. I thought you had already gone.
No.
Jeez. Guys, I do have something really important to say.
Well, I have
Hold on. What?
That's fine. I found
your birth
certificate. Yeah.
Yay!
It was in the freezer.
What?
What? I don't think I want to know.
I'm curious.
Look,
yeah.
Okay, look. Okay. When you first move into an apartment, and you're worried about people stealing shit, but you don't have a safe or anything.
The freezer?
What's the one place that the thieves will never look?
My pocket?
Freezer. The freezer. Because what could be important? There's ice. Ice, food. So there you go.
You are
the
a
best
strange
place
bird.
to keep stuff. Freezer.
You are definitely a strange man.
And look, you always look. You're never gonna forget it.
This is bad advice. This is literally the first place.
Follow
people
me
First
on
off,
Twitter.
in your house.
Who's gonna break in your apartment going, "Oh, where's that birth certificate, man? I'm feeling it. It's got to be somewhere here."
Document, okay?
To follow the podcast. At
Computer?
PCP.
No, man. I need that birth certificate.
You should have put it inside a bacon baby. No one would open that
Dude,
thing up.
that's legit repellent.
That is a
Yeah.
good place to hide stuff.
That's a hot tip. And the point is,
Great guess.
when you move out of an apartment too, you always want to get rid of everything in your freezer and refrigerator. You're not going to forget your birth certificate because you always want to empty.
Unless it's frozen on the bottom of some other thing that you're throwing away.
No, that's why the plastic bag is so it'll give it ruffled texture.
We
so
have
it'll look like
T-Rex.
something's there.
And then the following week is destined for my GM.
I'm going to put it back in the freezer. Be right back, guys.
We are not having a guest for the Thanksgiving week.
Turkey week.
We haven't even decided if we're going to be doing one on Turkey week.
Oh.
Oh, that's right. Thanksgiving is Thursday.
Oh.
Yeah. So this next month is going to be T-Rex next week. Destined from IGN is going to be on the 15th. We've got Turkey week. And then we have Carolina Gamer coming on the 29th. And I got to tell you, next month, starting out the year, we have some big surprises coming up. I'm really excited about January.
Right.
Tattoos.
We're switching over to the Anthem Community Podcast. Oh shit, I ruined it.
So I want to take this time to, all joking aside, thank the patrons and the people who subscribe to this podcast. You make this all possible, and we highly appreciate all you lovely people.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Is that the show?
Yes, thank you.
That's
I
it.
think that's the show. All right. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll
Wrap it up, B.
That's
be
a new
back.
one. I think we should have the sign off be done by Briar now. Since he's the longest standing member of the podcast and all.
It's true. Technically
Yes.
correct.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's the
I do
OG.
have seniority.
Yes, seniority. So why don't you go ahead and do a sign off for us, Briar?
Adios.
All right. We're gonna roll credits. We'll be right back after the credits. Read out the subs.